What's up, everybody? About time. Hope you're in a good mood. That's pretty rare these days, to be honest with you. Falling deeper and deeper into a paralyzing, dystopian depression. But somebody's got to do it. I found this cool ass a flow hood from like a lab or something. This some bitch is huge. I can't afford it. It was just cool to look at. It's like $1,500, but I think one day I may have like a professional clean room and have $8.3 million worth of mushrooms in there if I keep going like this. We got mushroom updates, boys. And we got some bad news on TikTok. I try to post some pictures on TikTok, like you can post videos or pictures. And I even put like these are legal mushrooms, nothing illegal about them. Gourmet mushrooms, blah, blah. And I put it on there and posted it, and it got taken down for community guidelines violation as soon as it posted. So I'm assuming maybe I'm not going to be able to put a whole lot of mushroom content on TikTok, I guess. I don't know. I have to ask some of the other mushroom creators about it, maybe. Mariah had a little bit of a health issue today. She ended up, she works 2 days a week. Today was one of her days, so she ended up not going. And then I had to take her to the urgent care. We were going to go to the ER, but ended up taking her to the urgent care.
Truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves. We won't let the world burn away. Burn away.
Your chaps collection? Oh, that is not, I don't want to know about it. I had military insurance when I was in the military. I don't because I didn't like retire from there. They cover me. They covered me for like so many years when I first got out for any issue that may arise whatsoever. I can't even remember how many years it was. I think it's dependent on how many years you're in. But I had like a few years where I could go to the VA for anything. Now I only get VA coverage. I've got emergency coverage. Basically, I can go to the emergency room there or any urgent care, and they'll pay for it up to like 5 times a year, and they cover me for anything that I've got that's service connected. So all my PTSD stuff, all my hearing loss stuff, all the shit wrong with my knees, all the stuff that is tied to my PTSD, like lack of sleep, migraine, shit like that, they cover all that. But if I went with a new condition, let's say like I had, I broke my leg tomorrow and I went to the emergency care, that'd be fine. But then a year from now, if my leg's still hurting, I can't go there. That's like a new condition that doesn't have anything to do with my time in the military. You don't just get like free insurance forever, although a lot of people think that's the way it works. Unless you get up, if you get your disability rating high enough, you can basically go for any. If you get like 100% disabled, and it's probably like 70 or 80% and up, they'll cover everything because you're fully disabled. Let's roll the intro. We'll talk about Mariah in just a second.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome everybody. I'm Will Bird. That was Linda Binda. You can find her on TikTok, YouTube, and Cameo. That intro was provided through Cameo by one of my followers. You can check that out. We're live right now on Rumble, Discord, Rumble, Twitch, Facebook, and there's a replay that's going to be up on YouTube tomorrow. I'm technically broadcasting there, but it'll be there tomorrow. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I got a show for you tonight. If you didn't hear in the intro, and another thing I left out about when I was in the military, all of my dependents, of course, were covered with TRICARE. And that there's a transition period when you leave of like so long. If you retire from there, I guess you would still get lifetime coverage, and maybe they would too. But when you leave the military, there's a transition period where they've got some coverage, but then they transition out too. It's actually even quicker than the veteran because they're not going to have pre-existing conditions that the Army caused because they weren't in the Army. Anyways, Mariah's been fighting a toothache. Mariah's super. Her teeth, like she grew up on well water. She didn't get a whole lot of fluoride or calcium. And then one of her pregnancies was complicated by the calcium was basically drained from her body, and we didn't notice it until basically it was too late. And a lot of OBs now are recommending like calcium infusions and calcium supplements no matter what, because you don't really notice the calcium deficiencies until it's kind of too late. But if you start taking all this calcium supplement as soon as you find out you're pregnant, just like prenatal vitamins, you can get ahead of it. So like her teeth, she struggled with her teeth. It's none of her front teeth. She still has a beautiful smile and looks good. It's like the teeth in the back have some trouble with them. So she's had one that kind of cracked or whatever, and it got an abscess to it. So she was fighting that for like the last couple days. And then I guess last night, she was up quite a bit last night. She woke me up a few times, like getting up and out of bed, but she said nothing was wrong. And then this morning when I got up, she said she had a fever, and, she thought she had an infection, an abscess. So we ended up having to take her to urgent care. We thought we were going to go to the ER, and I was like, well, we just go to urgent care. They could probably do just as much for a tooth. It's not like you cut your finger off or something. So we went to urgent care. There's no sense in going to a dentist because we've done that before. Last time she had this happen, and went to the dentist. They wouldn't touch her until like the infection was gone anyways. So we went to urgent care. They said it was pretty bad. They gave her a couple shots, some pain medicine, some antibiotics, got all that and sent her back up. She really needs to have some teeth pulled, like in the back of her mouth. But she's also, like most people, she's kind of self-conscious about her teeth. And first of all, it's all expensive. Second of all, she wants something to put back there, right? She just doesn't want to get like teeth pulled, even if they are in the back of her mouth. So instead, she puts up with it a lot of times too long. I think too long. I had to make her go today, and they told us it was really bad when we got there. So, anyways, we don't have that insurance for stuff like that, so we have to pay for it out of pocket. But eventually, I'm gonna have to either have them all pulled and like put a partial in. That's what the nurse kind of recommended today, because we were talking about implants and how expensive they are, like to pull them and put implants in. And the nurse said, my teeth are kind of like yours, and same story, you know, from a child, and, you know, probably not the greatest water when I grew up. And she said, what I'm doing is like, there's like 3 back here and 2 on the other side. I'm having all those on the top. I'm having all those pulled, but my front teeth, like yours, are like really good. So they're going to put in a partial to where it basically like snaps in with like a little bit of wire pressure. There's like a bent wire. And my mom had a partial for a little bit, and you couldn't tell. My mom ended up getting full dentures, but for a long time, she just had a partial for one tooth, and you couldn't tell at all. It kind of snapped in. She kept it in, whatever. So Mariah's probably asleep. She's battling some type of infection, abscess in her tooth. The reason I was worried is because like that's it's so easy to spread from like your teeth to like your bloodstream. Also, I don't know if you know this, but if you have somebody that knows what they're doing, they can look at your teeth, and your teeth are a big indicator of your overall health. So there are people that can look at your teeth and be like, oh, well, you have high blood pressure. Oh, you're a diabetic. Or, oh, you've had a heart attack. Just like crazy shit. So I didn't want anything to spread to like her bloodstream or go septic, or you never know. Hell, my mom ended up in the hospital from a freaking kidney infection, and then she passed away. She had a kidney infection, which led to some other issues, which led to her, you know, having a stroke while she was like unconscious, and then she ended up dying before she ever got out of the hospital, just over a kidney infection or bladder infection or something. So I just wanted to go to the hospital and get it, or go to the doctor and get it checked out. Hopefully the antibiotics work. We went and picked them up before we came here, but that's where I've been kind of all day. She didn't work, and then because I didn't want her to have to drive herself, I didn't work. I only worked like a couple hours just until she got up and got ready. And then I took her there, so she's probably not awake. But either way, we got a couple things to cover. We'll have to save up the money and get her some dental work, I think. Even if I had insurance, even if I had dental insurance, it doesn't cover a lot of that shit like that. That's what we were talking about. I was talking to some of the mods about, like, they don't cover a lot of that shit, man. They cover like really basic things for dental. But we'll figure something out. Either way, thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, I'm Mo Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional. That was Linda Bend on our intro. And we've got a mushroom update. I know that's not my typical stuff that I cover, but we do have a mushroom update in case you're interested. Any Telegram channels we can look into? I don't know. Anyways, I posted this today. So you guys remember this picture, right? So this is the picture as soon as I re-wet it and was hoping I saved it. Like, this is just me wetting the block. And there is a little bit of white here. A lot of this white that's here is not even it's not even mycelium. It's not even the root system. I'm pretty sure my mom and dad had something called and I don't know if I could qualify for it. My mom and dad had something called the care card or something. And when they went to have it was like a credit card that you could only use on like health stuff, or maybe it was even just dental stuff. But when they went to get dental work, they would put it on that card, because there's not a whole lot of dentists that take payments. I remember when I was a kid, my dad had to have some teeth pulled back when he had his real teeth, and they let him make payments on it. But I'm pretty sure like my parents had some type of like almost like credit card or like line of credit or something that just had health stuff. It doesn't matter, but either way, you guys remember this picture, the Care Credit? We had one. Okay, is it pretty decent, Dr. J? Maybe I'll have to apply for it. Anyways, we had this where I just rewetted this block, and again, this is a block that I thought I had killed, that I thought I had fucked up at first because it got so dry, it was horrible. So this is the way it looked like when I first re-wet it, I guess. And then we ended up with this, which is the picture I posted just yesterday. Okay, so just yesterday we got a ton of mycelium growing. It's kind of poking through everywhere, which is pretty good. I was expecting to maybe see it like on one side, then slowly watch it cover to the other side. I wasn't really expecting what happened next because we went from this was yesterday, to this today. But ow, that's a look at that difference. Yesterday, today. Yesterday, today. I can't believe how quickly this shit grows. So many months, zero interest on anything. Okay. Yeah, most of I've got a couple credit cards now. I didn't for a long time, but they're both, I got two of them just in case something ever happens to one of them. But they're like emergency stuff. Like I put maybe a tank of gas on them every month and then I just pay it off. But I don't have the Care card, but I got a couple. That's a big difference there. This is yesterday and this is today. That's insane. I think mushrooms are so interesting because there's really no plant that grows like this. Like, okay, you got spores instead of seeds, and the spores have like a negative and a positive, and like a negative will start growing and a positive will start growing, and then they'll reach out to each other, and they have to both hook up to end up having growth like this or having mushrooms. And then there's just so much growth over a day or a night. And like you have to trick them. You have to trick them into, yeah, Mariah's got all that. Mariah obsesses over her teeth. It's not from lack of care. Mariah water picks and flosses and brushes her teeth all the fucking time. She buys fucking toothpaste. It's like super expensive because it's supposed to be better or some shit. Mariah, like, it aggravates her because I just brush my teeth like I'm still a fucking child, right? Like, I brush my teeth like twice a day. And sometimes I fucking am running late and fucking completely forget it and have to take a breath mint or use one of those disposable ones. But Mariah obsesses over her teeth and she still can't. It's her genetics and the amount of calcium she had in her body. So, anyways, nothing really grows like this. You even have to trick it to get it to fruit. So you know how I was talking about misting it? And by the way, you can see a bunch of little water droplets like on the edge of the bag and stuff. The reason you mist it and then fan it is to make the water evaporate off the surface, right? So there's like little droplets of water everywhere here. You want to make the water evaporate off the surface, and what you're doing is tricking it to think like it was overnight. So like the temperature drops because you put a little water on it. The air is usually cooler than what you got this set at. It thinks that the dew fell, and like the evaporation is a signal like, hey, it must be nighttime. We're coming into morning. I'm gonna make some mushrooms. The whole thing's just wild the way mushrooms grow. I'm hoping in a week or so that I'll have maybe not a full harvest, but I'll have some little baby mushrooms to show you guys. So we'll see. We'll just have to see. I hope so. A dental school. I never even thought about that. I don't know if there's a dental school near me, but that makes sense. Like I got a car painted real cheap at the auto body school one time. That does make sense, but I don't know if there is one. That's a big difference, guys. Look at that. I guess one of them's flipped 180 because on this one, the sticker's on the right side. On this one, the sticker's on the left side. But still, even if you flip it 180, that would mean like these dots right here are technically these dots right here. But still, that's a big difference. And it's like the whole thing. That's crazy. Yeah, that's usually the way it is. It's interest free for the first year, but if you don't pay it off within the whatever the time period is, then you incur all the interest that you would have had if it wouldn't have been interest free. Uh-oh.
Austin underscore Milbard underscore GLG20 cheered Dex 600.
Let's see if it plays. How delayed is it? Will it work? Will it not work? I don't know. Keep waiting. Oh my God, is it not going to work? I always think it's not going to work and then it works. So I don't know. Is it going to work? Austin, what did you do? Did you break
I'm
it?
a little bit drunk.
There it
I'm
goes.
a little bit drunk because I'm drinking.
It did work.
I'm a little bit drunk. I'm a little bit
Thank
drunk.
God.
Because I'm drinking.
Thank you very much for the donation, Austin. I'm excited. I'm excited about mushrooms, and I'm excited this one took back off, even though I thought I fucked it up. So I don't know. I hope so. Let's see. Join chat on this name. Token's good. Linked auto connect to Twitch. That's all good. I was gonna see, is there an update? Yes. Settings. Check for updates. I haven't checked. No, it says I'm all up to date. Okay. There you go. Sammy, everyone, is the program I use. It used to be called Leorin board, but now it's called Sammy because the guy who invented it, Leorin, I guess was his name. He was kind of an asshole. Like, he ran off all the developers and the programmers and shit. So what you're looking at here is mycelium. Obviously, it's like the root system of a mushroom growth of plants. They share like a communal root system, I guess, that kind of, like, each one of these started from like a few spores and then spread. And then these little dots, like these little perfect little circles that are kind of, just little circles. There's something called hyphal or hyphal knots, HYPHAL. And what they're doing is they are a gathering of mycelium that kind of gets in a knot. Then they'll turn into something called a primordia, which is basically the same thing as a knot, but it's a separate body from the root system. Then right now the knot is part of the root system. When it becomes a primordia, it's still the knot, but it's a separate body now, whatever that entails. I'm just going by the definitions. And then you'll get something called a pin, where this little, let's say, like this little circle right here, like this little dot right here, will get like a brown dot in it. And basically, not these. I know that right there looks like a mushroom, but that's actually some bird seed or something that was up on the top of the substrate. But it'll kind of look like that little brown dot. And then that'll technically, eventually, that'll be the head of a mushroom. Like, it'll get taller, it'll get thinner, and then that'll be the head. Then it'll start getting a lot fatter, and then the head will open. But it'll basically look like this little bird seed piece right here. And that's how a mushroom will start. So there you go. Looks pretty good so far. What's that black thing? I don't know what that is. Probably not good, huh? But yeah, I was surprised with how much change it had made over a day. That's pretty fucking crazy. One day. Which, to be fair, like, I think I took this picture. Well, no, that was about the same. I was going to say I think I took this picture late or early and took the other picture late, but I took them both around maybe 6 p.m. or something. So that's a big difference, dude. God, I hope they keep going well. I need a pick me up instead of like some contamination that destroys my whole crop. Who knows? Probably the bird curse will strike, and like I'll get a harvest, and the day before I harvest it, the office will burn down. You never can tell. You never can tell what'll happen. Okay. Back to Phil Godlewski's aunt. So Phil Godlewski's aunt predicted that the Nesara would start on October 31st, which is Halloween Day, because somehow she had figured out that from her source, independent of Phil, she claims, that the lease, I wonder if she's always talking about Phil, and she's always got these crazy theories. And the last one about the lease on Israel, the only reason Phil started talking about it is because someone said it in the chat. I wonder if she's the bitch in the chat saying all these things. Because what happened was Phil stopped the show and he's like, does this have to do with Israel's lease expiring on October 31st? And he's like, yeah, I'm glad you figured that out. You're very intuitive. I wonder if it's this bitch. I wonder if this is the bitch that does that all the time. You think? Anyways, people are calling her out for her support of Phil, for her telling everybody that October 31st was the start of Nesara, and she's here to set the record straight. This is the Trek party from 11/6/2023, 2 days ago, and it's called Time to Party.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. See? What in the heck? Anyway, welcome to the Trek party. All right, so. Oh, okay. All right, there we go. All right, so welcome to the Rumble followers. Welcome to the Facebookers.
By the way, somebody called her out as being a hopium dealer. So one of her followers named Lynn Daly says, let God heal your broken heart and then heal and become a hope dealer. We are overcomers. Praise God.
I'm going to see. Aha, there you are. There's Jenna, Cheryl, Yahoo. How's the sound? Of course, it still tells me.
It does look like a scarecrow.
I didn't zoom in
Her hair could even be made out of straw.
from Zoom because I'm upstairs on the big desktop and it won't zoom in to Zoom. I mean, to Facebook for some reason. All right. Anyway. Alrighty then. I have good news for you tonight. So I'm going to do some preliminaries.
This is Phil's aunt.
Before everybody gets on, just so
Trex.
nobody misses all the good stuff. Let me just.
Yeah, hope dealer. So we're hoping God returns.
Okay, and then.
Oh my God, just play.
All right. So I'm different. Yes, I am. That's what they tell me. Yeah. I'm different from most truthers in that I feel my mission is to encourage and stabilize. Those are my things. And so that's what.
Okay, so she's giving out intel, but her mission is to encourage and stabilize. But for some reason, she's giving out definitive dates, as in, this is all starting on October 31st. It's the last Halloween you'll ever have. The lease runs out on Israel, the country, tonight at midnight. Then Nesara starts. But her mission is to provide hope and stabilize.
What I do, especially if I feel like there's a lot of bad misinformation or disinformation out there that could make people afraid, then I'm going to come on and bring stability because I can, because I do have a source. Yes, I do. All right. And so
She does have a source, baby.
How that source operates and why sometimes things don't happen the way we think they're going to. All right.
Okay.
But, you know, I have been in this womb of protection for 10 years, and
Protection womb. Write that down. I need to order one. See if it's got it on Amazon. A protection womb. I've been pretty deep up Mariah's giblets, but I've never felt less protected.
one of you put me on Phil Godlewski's chat, and so then I went viral on Rumble, and so all of a sudden I'm a target, right? So I was thinking, you know, about all these things I could say, you know, to these people, you know, how you want to just, you know, react and answer back, and then I thought, no, you know, really, everybody has a right to be angry, but it's how we deal with it, right? And so I don't want to answer back in the same spirit that was given to me, but I was thinking of just how funny I could be about.
She claims she's not a grifter because she's president of a nonprofit who doesn't take a salary, which is mostly because she's the only person that's part of her nonprofit that she made for herself. But we've also seen where she was like begging for $10 million to buy a ranch. Someone donated this house she lives in Texas, and she's actually begged for 3 different ranches. And I'm sure people are sending her money.
We could
not to mention she charges $500 for a flute solo, a destiny flute solo that'll reveal the destiny of your life, or $300 to play music to take your kid's autism away.
do 2 different songs. Which song would you like to hear? Oh, look at all those lonely people. Or my version. Oh, look at all those angry people. Or,
Okay.
I'm so happy, and if I go any farther, Facebook will cut me off. Okay, so anyway, I think I like the happy song. So anyways, yeah, we're going to talk about anger management tonight. All right, so anyway.
She is a professional flautist. and she played the flute for the mayor of South Korea, who's now the president of South Korea. Idiots.
But I have to say, I want to say publicly that I was absolutely blissed out by a Rumble follower who actually apologized to me. So this person had emailed me, and I gave her an explanation about some things that weren't accurate, and she was touched. And she said, I'm so sorry that I accused you because you validate Phil. So most of the heat I'm getting is because I defend Phil for one reason.
Uh-oh.
I'm not a fruit inspector, okay? I don't look at people's lives and point. I don't point.
Phil is kind of a fruit, though. That makes sense. It would seem that someone that had to inspect Phil would be a fruit inspector.
That's dangerous for me to point and to judge. And so the thing is, the man has a job to do. That's a fact. The man is accurate. That's a fact. And I'm going to prove it to you.
Neither of those are facts. He literally has no job to do unless we're talking about grifting. And he's not accurate. He's been as wrong as anybody else has been wrong.
Tonight.
He's probably, he's orders of magnitude worse than just flipping a coin.
That's why I talk about him. That's why I mention him, because
of flipping a coin is at least a 50-50 chance. And some of the stuff that he says is like 100% doesn't have a chance.
I can't tell what my sources, I can't tell the details, but I can tell you that I can confirm what Phil is saying because of my source. All right. My source is as high as his. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So just for fun, these are the word.
Our source is as high as Phil's.
Since I got on Rumble.
Got it.
They took that one video because that one night I was so tired. You know, I looked really bad. I was in a green hat, and I just wanted to quick come live on Facebook to help people.
You just wanted to quick come live? What is quick come? Is that something I can learn to do?
Chickaboom
Usually out of breath.
Subscribed for 13 months.
Look at that, over a year. Thank you very much, Chickaboom, for the resubscription. I'm usually out of the breath by the time I come. Can I quick come? Is that something I can do, like quick travel in a video game?
On Rumble. They took that one video because that one night I was so tired. You know, I looked really bad. I was in a green hat, and I just wanted to quick come live on Facebook to help people stabilize, you know, and make sure they understood everything's okay. And somebody put it up on Ghost Ezra on Telegram and said, lithium or Zoloft?
They said lithium or Zoloft and shared your video? Oh, no. Oh, no.
So nice, so kind of you. Oh, wow, you're amazing. All right, and then one of this, I know this guy is definitely a bot. Call me a grifter. The president of a relief organization who doesn't get paid, a grifter, right? And then when the EBS didn't happen on Halloween night, I'm called fake. And
well, you did say it was going to happen on Halloween night. There was going to be an EBS because the lease that Israel has never signed a lease for their land ran out on Halloween of this year.
That Phil is your source? No, Phil is not my source, believe me. No. He's the confirmation. All right. This one lady said,
Phil's the confirmation, not the source.
I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's give you I would like to introduce myself. My name is Teresa, alias Tracy, and I like hats. I like hats. When my mother died, she loved hats, and I inherited all her hats. And when I wear her hats, it makes me happy.
Oh my goodness.
Am I trying to, appear a certain way? Nope, I'm trying to be me. All right? So don't mess with my hats. All right. And then there's that lady that said, cut with the sugar, just give me the intel. Nope, ain't doing it. I got lots of sugar tonight. That's right. All right. And then the person or
she sounds like what's his name saying, Lindsey Graham. This is my ladybugs. You want to see my ladybugs?
Somebody's that quote my favorite decoder. Liar, nobody has a source. I don't lie. But what I was thinking was, I am the type of person that it's easy for me to apologize. So if I'm wrong, I find out that I'm wrong about like the planetary alignment thing. I got bit by a bot and I fell for it. But so did FCB.
So she did post about this weird post about a planetary alignment on October 27th about all the planets in the entire solar system would be aligned forever. And it's the only time it ever happens, like every 2 billion years. And that was going to be maybe the day the White Hats decided to make a move because everything was lined up vibrationally. And then 5 minutes later, she had to point out that that story wasn't even true.
And Dave, not on that issue, but on another one, and they apologized. Good people. All right, so I feel like if I needed to go back and look at my videos, because if I had been a source of false hope and I had said things in a matter-of-fact way that it was going to happen, then I need to apologize. And they have a valid reason for their anger, and I was going to validate them. So I went back and I looked at my videos, and these are the words I used. Could happen because of this, and this. So
could happen. So Israel, the EBS could happen. Nesara could happen because the lease ran up for a sovereign nation and their land, and they forgot to renew it.
Could. And I was like playfully, trying to solve a mystery. This is what we've got. This is our life, right? We want to solve this mystery because we're in it, right? Playfully. And so we can make it fun, or we can just be bitter and angry all the time, right? And then I said the word quite possibly could. So
quite possibly could.
And I went all the way through it, and I went, I did not promise. I did not say it was going to happen. I was playing with hope. And people have called me
she's a hope player. I was playing with hope. I'm a hope player. Don't hate the hope. Hate the hope player. Or the game. I messed it up. Hate the hope game, maybe. I'm not sure.
A person who has hopium. Well, I looked up the definition of that because I thought I probably do have hopium, but it means excessively optimistic thinking. I'm guilty of that. Yeah, I am. I'm guilty of that. And having or giving false hopes. Nah, I don't give false hopes. I give from fact. Or
you just said you gave false hopes when you said I was playing with hopium. I was giving you hope that this could happen. That's false hope. It wasn't going to happen. That's false hope.
We just, go on a little treasure hunt adventure looking for the answers to our lives that we don't know what's going to happen to us. All we know is God's plans are good to give us a good future. We know that. So there's no way I can give false hope. Right?
No way.
How can you have too much hope? Can you?
Yes. Blind hope, false hope, hopium.
What about faith is a substance of things hoped for. Substance. So I looked that up. Faith is the confidence in what we hope for and the assurance about what we do not see. Faith shows the reality of what we hope for. It is the evidence of things we cannot see. So how can I have too much faith or too much hope? I cannot. And do I want to spread it? Yes, I do. So if you think that's hopium, I'm the hopium queen. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, at least we know it.
I'm guilty of hope. Yes, I am. I'm guilty. All right. So let's talk about, when I was thinking about all this and feeling bad that these people got their hopes up and then they got it dashed one more time. We have that's happened to us over and over. And for that, I am so sorry.
Because the reason you've gotten your hope up and it's been dashed thousands of times for literal years, and the person who you claim isn't even president has now been president for almost a full fucking term, is because it's not happening. Imagine watching the Super Bowl and there's a bad call at the end of the Super Bowl and it causes one team to win and probably one team to lose. You can't say for sure that the other team would have won, but it seemed like it weighed heavily on the outcome of the game. And you're like, well, maybe they'll go back and review that call. That's probably a valid belief to hold until the next plays ran. But if you're 3.5 years later, there's already been other Super Bowls, and 3.5 years later, you're like, well, you remember the Super Bowl of 2020? They're probably going to review that call, and any day now, they're going to announce that the one team didn't win and the other team did. Well, that's probably hanging on a little bit too long.
But what are we supposed to do? This is a war. They can't tell us everything. And I'll tell you what my advisor said to me. Every week, he gives me the schedule of what they hope to accomplish. But it is always contingent on.
Every week, her source gives her a schedule of what they hope to accomplish. What are her qualifications? None. They just give her this is the biggest covert military operation, the most expansive. It's worldwide. It's the most secretive. And they just publish her a schedule for the week and just hand it to her. Who is she? Well, she's a CEO of a one-man of a one-man charity organization, and she almost bought a $10 million farm. She claimed she had already raised $1 million, but that was all a lie. So there you go.
From the military, and their criteria is security.
From the military. She gets it from the military.
So we've never been through a war. At least of what they hope to accomplish. But it is always contingent on the military, and their criteria is security. So we've never been through a war. At least in this country.
We've never been through a war? Not in this, even if you clarify that and say in this country. We've never been through a war?
Most of us have never been through a war, and not this kind of war.
Most of us. And not this kind, and not an underground war, and not a cabal-oriented war, and not a war against the shadow government, and not a war that involves Hillary Clinton, and not a war that, okay, so we're going to attach a lot of qualifiers to it.
The object of the war, it's like, this has never happened before. No one knows how to navigate this. But the only way.
But when you use that exact same excuse for like why weird stuff happened around COVID, and you're like, hey, it was an unprecedented time in history. None of us have seen anything like this in our lifetime. It was a worldwide health epidemic. So yeah, there were some things that changed. And nope, I don't know what they did weird stuff, right? It was crazy. Why aren't there people working in Washington D.C. while they working at home? What was an unprecedented health crisis? No. Well, why is none of your shit coming true? Well, it's unprecedented. We've really never had this imaginary elite war of special forces led by Donald Trump, the former president.
Is patience and understanding that you don't understand, and that the schedule can change, and it has to change based on is everybody safe? Is everybody going to be safe, or is there a threat? And there have been threats, and I've known about them.
He knows the threats.
That's why things do change, and I got excited many times. Well, think about it. In the beginning, we were following Q, and Q would say this is going to happen on this date, but it was a Delta, or 6 year. 6 years later,
6 year Delta. Yeah.
We didn't know. In fact, there was one. Oh man, I didn't get that one ready, but that Q post about 6 year Delta for the 5th of November. Let me see if I can find that really quick. I sent it to my friend because that is really important.
Very important.
Yeah, here it is. Now
6 year Delta.
Pray because we're operational. God bless the United States of America. What does that mean?
That means that some troll was posting on fucking 4chan about that year, and every year since then you've just said, oh, it's a 3 year Delta, a 4 year Delta. Next year it's a 5 year Delta. Next year it's a 6 year Delta. Next year it's a 7 year Delta. Like, it has nothing to do with right now. None of this has to do with it. None of those posts have anything to do with right now.
It means Phil's right. It means it happened. We are operational on the USN and the Restored Republic. We have been on the Restored Republic for some time. It's not been made public. All right. Okay, so back to the anger, the angry people. So, to the extent of your anger, it shows your past. So people who had a difficult childhood of abuse or disappointment over and over again, if that isn't resolved, then you grow up as an adult and you carry that. And so you go through something like we have been going through. This entire time since the fake Biden election has been a continual sting operation. That's a fact, right? I knew that. When
I was a teenager, I used to, I don't want to say this, but I kind of have the past she's talking about. Maybe that's why I'm so angry, because when I was a teenager, there was days where, I probably sexually abused myself 2 or 3 times in a day. Okay? Hormones is what I blamed it on, but I'm not sure.
That all along. That's what I was told, all right? And so negative emotions are toxic. Most people have some understanding of that. That's what I do for a living. That's what I teach, all right? So negative emotions are dangerous. So anger, it has weight, it has power. You're a triune being, your body, soul, and spirit, that your emotions are a part of you.
Triune
they have to go
being.
Somewhere. So when you exhibit all that hate and anger at someone else like me, it's not going to hurt me at all, but it's going to hurt you. And that makes me really sad. That I feel bad because you don't understand how dangerous it is. So
calling her a grifter doesn't hurt her. It hurts you. because you're a triune being, and she doesn't care that you say it to her, but please stop because it's hurting you.
A negative emotion like anger and bitterness, where does it go after it comes out of you and it's in you?
Into the world.
It gets deposited in a certain part of your body. Every negative emotion gets deposited in a certain part of your body.
I thought that was a canker sore. That must be my rage building up.
Anger goes to the liver and the gallbladder, and it weakens every single cell on the way there. And if you have a steady diet of it,
is that confirmed? Anger goes to the liver and the gallbladder, and it destroys every cell as it goes. Where does it come from? So you're saying it comes from my mouth when I say something, or from my fingertips when I type something, and then migrates to my liver or gallbladder? That's weird.
You're constantly vomiting anger and hatred and bitterness on people. It comes right back to you. It doesn't hurt them. They don't know you. They don't have to be affected by you, but it's going to hurt you. All right, so what I teach is that the last 5 minutes of your night before you go to sleep will shape your next day.
Okay.
If you go to bed with that anger and that bitterness, it's going to multiply. And the next day, you'll be soaked in it. You'll be saturated with it. And it will also
marinated in. That's what I like to say. I'm marinated in hatred.
Shape your life. And a constant diet of that causes cancer. It breaks down the body. The body doesn't know what to do with it.
I think I've seen a couple of PubMed studies posted on this. Anger breeds cancer.
So toxic that it sends it to the liver to protect the rest of the body from it. But then the liver
that's what the liver's for. The liver is for storage of anger.
Just gets completely saturated and full. Right. It's not that you don't have a valid right to be angry. You do. We all do. The injustice that we have been through our entire lives was wrong. It was unjust. We have a righteous indignation and a righteous anger that we have a right to, but you can't keep it. You have to process it, let it go out, get rid of it. You have to find a way to get rid of it.
Okay. Well, I do a liver cleanse twice a morning.
They're really good. I have a really good
maybe it's my gallbladder I should be worried about
my life, if you know. But I have chosen the path of peace. I have chosen to love. Anger is a very low vibration. It causes illness in the body. I don't want to be sick. I was sick for 10 years. And
oh my goodness.
Then I got well, and then I got sick again. I almost died 3 times in my life. I don't want to be sick anymore. It wasn't from anger, but it was from trauma. When you live, and that's the other thing, if you live in a household with people who don't believe like you and don't believe you and mock you and make it hard on
leave them behind. Come to Cutardia. Live with us, or you'll die of cancer.
On you, abuse you with words. It causes you to tighten your organs, and then you can't release, and you self-poison.
I don't have a single problem releasing. If you have a problem maybe tightening up your organs or with the release, maybe you should give Phil some advice, because I heard he had to have Big Pharma help him out there.
That's what happened to me. I lived in 25 years of extreme abuse on every level. It was like the Twilight Zone, kind of like creepy abuse. Like you never understood what was going on. And my organs tightened, so I couldn't cleanse my body. And that is why I almost died. I was toxic.
I like a lady with little tight organs, to be honest with you. When
I finally escaped, my body let go. Like it knew it was safe. And I mean, water was just like,
I shit all over myself. I wish you would say that. Like when I was finally safe, I shit all over myself. It came up my back like a baby wearing a diaper. It pushed my shirt out. You wouldn't believe it. I felt it at the base of my neck.
Pouring out of my eyes for months because the toxins couldn't get out fast enough. So, you know.
So when she finally felt safe, she cried, is what she's saying. It come pouring out of her. The toxins came pouring out of her eyeballs as if they were salty and clear. It was amazing.
I have lived a life of detox to make up for all the years that I stored poison. So that's why I just wanted to come like a friend to the angry hearts and the bitter people. You do.
I've poisoned Mariah before. I guarantee it. I got a little poison injection situation going on. I've seen it make her eyes water, to be fair. That must have been the poison coming out of her body. Must have been.
You have a right. And I'm so sorry for what you've been through. I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a cause of you getting your hopes up one more time. And so I want to promise to you tonight that I will only, when I have a fact that I know is 100% true from my advisor, I'm going to tell you it's a fact. When I want to play with hope and possibilities, then we'll do it that way. I'll say it that way, okay? But I am really thankful that when I went back and listened to that video that it said could, and quite possibly, because we never know if the schedule is going to be exactly the way they set it out and they wanted it to be. They wanted it to be. They wanted it to be last Christmas. They did. And it couldn't be. They wanted it to be 4th of July, just like I told you. And Trump.
They wanted it to be Christmas. They wanted it to be 4th of July. Becky Menzo. Thanks for your hard work. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. You can go to cultivate.fund and support the show, contribute to the show. It's a bad time of year for contributions, so if you feel like we deserve it, go to cultivate.fund and leave a contribution. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Personally, was very disappointed that it couldn't be, but we're there now. We are there now, and I'm going to tell you the proof that I have. Okay. All right. Let's talk about Halloween. So when I said, Trump said lights out, maybe I should turn the lights out on Halloween. It did happen. It wasn't the EBS. We all just assumed it was. It wasn't. It was the deep state.
Oh.
They were finished that night in Israel.
On Halloween.
Is it the Balfour contract was up, which canceled out the Israeli mafia and cabal that were in control. And we won. And I was told that it would be quick, that we were going to handle it. Okay.
So it did happen.
So
we just didn't hear about it.
It wasn't going to be a bad ending with that. I knew it wasn't going to be a disaster for our future. And there are people saying we're in war. And
Justin Sally just gifted 5 subs.
Oh, thank you, Justin Sally. Thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate it.
We have a plan. We actually have a plan to help those people, the survivors. All right. Okay. Now, remember the 5th of November. Why? Because it happened on the 5th of November. I think like 12:01 a.m. It went live, just like Phil said. All right. So he is accurate. He is correct. My source said that was the schedule. He had not gotten the update yet at that point when I asked him, but he said that was the schedule. All right. And so then if you follow the RV, Texas Snake, he's very accurate. He doesn't say.
The guy by the name, the guy you should trust with all your financial advice and your investments and where you put your money is a guy named Texas Snake. He's the leading financial advisor.
Anything that he doesn't have fact to back up. He said, we will go forward with it publicly on a day that starts with a T and ends with a Y. That's the best he could do. That's, with his, I don't know if he's under an NDA or not. All right, Mark Z. Mark Z is one of the most careful.
Why do they make up? When did NDAs become such a big thing? Now everybody's got an NDA. Everybody's got a fucking handler and a source. Everybody.
Truthers about the RV of anybody I know. And he said many of his sources confirm what Phil said.
Okay, many.
I have a contract. I'm going to a contact from another country, and I'm not going to say what country it is, but it is the one that you want to have a contact in. And they said they were told that it most likely would be next week. All right, early next week. All right, then
early next
you have 2 Christmas videos, one on Il Donaldo.
So it's going to be announced on Tuesday or Thursday, and they said early, so probably Tuesday of next week.
And then the other on Dan Scavino. Those are pertinent. That isn't just cutesy fun.
Pertinent.
That is a calm. That is real. All right. And then you have Mr. Poole. He had a meme. I think it was on Saturday. Green light, check mark. Free walk, freedom soon. All right. And then Sunday he had the future looks bright. Okay. And then the White House was lit. You probably all seen that on the inside, in the windows, with green lights on the top floors and gold on the bottom floors. The turn to the gold-backed currency.
Oh no!
And then lights on the outside of the building, lights on the Washington.
I got a small dick, but wait till you get home. She gonna be like, damn.
Hey, Manda on YouTube, Stephanie says, thank you for all your hard work with 10 6-packs. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you want to contribute to the show, you do that at coldbrew.fund. Thank you, guys.
Monument, and I think there may have been somewhere else too, but I didn't write that down. All right, I'm going to give you one more.
We're going to start a Mariah Dental Work Fund.
Proof. Monday, today, was the deadline to launch the USN. It was the deadline, and they got it done beforehand. Why was it the deadline? Because if we did not launch the USN, then the other countries, the BRICS countries, and
oh no, hope you're doing all right, Justin.
well, basically the BRICS countries were going to refuse to trade with us and especially let us buy oil. They will not.
So we had to pass the U.S. note, is what she's talking about, the rainbow currency, before Monday, or the BRICS countries were not going to let us trade with them. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So thank God we got that through.
Then the other countries, the BRICS countries, and well, basically the BRICS countries were going to refuse to trade with us and especially let us buy oil. They will not let us use our fake fiat currency any longer. It is dead. And that is awesome. We needed to get out of that central banking.
So they let us use our fake fiat currency that was worthless, and they knew it. They let us use it up till Monday. But Monday, they're like, no more, buddy. No more. You better get some real currency in here. We've only, for the last fucking 100 years, we've been accepting this fake money that's not worth anything.
System of debt slavery. Okay? All right. And so...
Austin underscore Milbarg underscore GLG 20.
A little bit.
You sure about that?
500.
Sometimes.
You
yes.
sure about that? You sure
Mostly.
about that? You
We'll
sure
see.
about that?
I am sure about that. Thank you very much for the donation. 500 bits from Austin. Thank you.
Those are my proofs. And I'm not doing any hopium on this. These are actual things that all happened at the same time.
At the exact
right,
same
so
time.
I'm expecting a call tomorrow.
These are proofs.
Between tomorrow and Thursday, I believe 100%.
Not guesses. Proofs.
But I always believe because I have the gift of faith and I always believe. It doesn't matter how many times I get disappointed. I'm going to believe the next time because it's powerful, right? It's powerful. I'm certainly not going to be angry and say, oh, yeah, they said that before and they kicked the can down the road. What good is that going to do you? No. So that's the way I live.
You can finally move on with your life.
Because it is a fact. We
prevent a divorce with your husband.
Or America is done. We're done. And that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We are going forward. And we have to go now. It's on the schedule. Okay? All right. So, I know it's been hard. This may be the last trek for a while. Because if we go, it's going to be harder for me to go live. But I'll try. I will try. But what really is sad for me is the family rejection that I know that so many people have had. And one lady wrote to me and it broke my heart. Just broke my heart what she's been through in the area of betrayal and rejection.
Yeah, she's been laid up. She's probably asleep right now. She had a tooth that was abscessed or whatever. I need to get all those broken teeth or whatever in the back. She's probably got like 4 or 5. I need to get them all pulled. We've already had one pulled. But she's really self-conscious about it too. She thinks people are going to notice, but I don't think they would, because right now, when she smiles or talks or whatever, you can't see those teeth anyways. It's only like when she'll literally show me like, oh, this tooth, is fucked up or whatever. That's the only time I can see it. So they couldn't, even if we went for like implants and shit, they'd have to pull them first and then let the swelling go down.
Because she believed the truth, right? Once we get through this, we know we're all going to be heroes and we'll be like wise people that everybody wants to come and ask us questions all the time. But right now, we have been through more than 3 years of just abuse, really. Abuse, mockery, that people call us crazy.
Yes.
And so I did a class called Healing for Family Rejection.
No.
And I want to make it available. And, that's another thing that it's not logical when people say, ooh, she's selling something on her site, she's using, to sell things. No, I'm an expert in anxiety. This is what I do for a living. I want to make it available. So I've got this class.
She doesn't say free. Even then, she's like, oh, people are going to be like, she's a grifter. She's selling this. No, this is what I do for a living. I want to make it available. She doesn't say for free, does she? That was pretty sly.
For anxiety, you can get the class for anxiety. It has all the tips in there and how to get rid of it. You can actually get rid of it, not management, right? And then Healing for Family Rejection. When I taught that class, my class was in shock and just tears flooding down their faces. We need a cleansing, right? From the negative emotions and the
They're probably sorry they paid for that shit.
Pain, even the pain. These are antidotes. I made some antidotes. All right, so let's talk about money. All right, so I said to this person, so you have a job and you get a paycheck and you expect that paycheck, right? Why? Because you buy groceries and then you pay your bills and that's how you live, right? Okay. But a musician or a speaker is different. You don't have the right to eat and have the lights on and pay the bills and feed your doggy treats. Why?
Well, a lot of musicians, if they're good enough, they'll work their way through the times that suck, and then they'll have a breakthrough, and then they'll basically be paid royalties for the rest of their life. And yes, they absolutely do have a right to eat, and they do make money. They rise above. Just because you're a musician who no one wants to listen to, that would be like having a job that no one needs that type of work done. Okay? If I am the fifth guy in my town that shaves spokes for wagon wheels and everybody's driving pickup trucks, I probably don't have a right to eat, right? I can't be out here fucking mowing yards in the Arctic Circle either.
Why don't you have a right? I'm not asking you for $500. These teachings are 20.
So she's here justifying that she's selling this teaching that she wants to make available. I don't have a right to eat? Am I never supposed to eat food again? Is that what you're saying?
$5. And the CD downloads, you can get them for $10. That's not going to hurt anybody. And then we give away, in the past, we have given away a lot. You see the reason?
A lot. How much did you give away? A lot.
Why is it that some podcasters can say, we want to thank you for your support? What's the difference between support, which is donation, and selling something that's going to help?
No. When I say thank you for your support, a lot of times it is just for showing up and watching. There are people that support financially, but that's not the only thing.
Help somebody. Isn't that a double standard? I don't want to make money off people, but I want to get what I do best in the hands of people. I've been waiting a long time.
I basically slaved for years over trying to provide a service to the public and never saw a single dime from it. So don't come up here and act like you demand money. I spent years making single moms around Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, and no one paid me a dime. So sometimes it just doesn't work out.
To get ridden for 5.5 months at a time, twice. All that time, I was so sick. I couldn't even raise my arms above my head.
What? You got
I don't want to
ridden?
make money off people, but I want to get what I do best in the hands of people. I've been waiting a long time to get ridden for 5.5 months at a time, twice.
I've been waiting a long time to get ridden for 5.5 months at a time. That was a very inconvenient disconnect there.
I don't want to make money off people, but I want to get what I do best in the hands of people. I've been waiting a long time to get ridden for 5.5 months at a time, twice.
I'm hoping she said she was bedridden. I don't know. That's a very inconvenient time for your internet to fucking glitch out.
All that time, I was so sick, I couldn't even raise my arms above my head. What could I do but lay there? And I determined that when I got well, I was going to bring relief to people in every way I possibly could, because I can't stand to see people suffer. So I produced all of this music that can help people.
Maybe it was all in your head, psycho.
And these teachings, because I made it through the pain. So why shouldn't I take my expertise and help other people? I've been waiting for this day. It was prophesied about me that I would have that mission at this time in history. I talked about that last time.
Who prophesies? Oh, yeah. What's his name? Who's the big prophet that everybody talks about? Trump predicted Trump and the king and the whatever and coming to power. He's dead now, but what's his name? She thinks there's a prophecy about her.
You know,
Kim Clement,
when I came to Texas,
maybe, or something like that.
I felt like I found my tribe. I felt like I found home. You see that pillow back there? It says home. That word can bring me to tears because I've never been home before. I've never found home. But when I came here, suddenly I felt like it was the place. It felt so good because the people of Texas are kind of old-fashioned in their culture. And the way they treat each other is with respect, with kindness, politeness, and honor. They honor each other. The Texas men celebrate their wives. They honor and celebrate their wives. Wow. Right? It just about broke my heart.
All I can think about right now is that Family Guy skit where they're sitting around they're sitting around the fire and the guy's like, I'm a queer chaser and beater. They're talking about what they do for a living. I'm a queer chaser and beater.
With joy when I went to a gas station and I was going to go in the door, but a man was coming out and he was a tall, cowboy, probably in his 80s.
Isn't everybody in Texas a cowboy? Come on now.
And he opened the door and he said, "Ma'am." And I went, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, she got all revved up, ma'am. Ooh. About the pulse in her joiner. That's what she's talking about.
My gosh, is that the most beautiful thing? Oh my gosh. And then my friend said, "Teresa, you have to go to the county fair. You have got to taste the culture, the true culture of Texas." So I went, and they said, "Be prepared to be asked to dance." So I went to the fair, and I'm just sitting there watching with tears streaming down my face because I have never seen anything this beautiful. I don't know if I've...
So you were just walking around the fair, bawling your eyes out. I've been to a fair, okay? There's a lot of drunk people. There's a lot of sticky kids. There's a lot of smells that kind of blend together. They're probably good smells individually. Sometimes there's like people shitting up against a fence, hiding behind the Ferris wheel because the line to the goddamn porta potties is too long. It's not something to cry over, okay?
Ever seen anything as beautiful as this. So what I saw, I guess Texans, their culture was that they all had dance lessons in childhood. I was told 12 years old, and other people said no, it was earlier. But
well, I thought she was going to say Down syndrome. Everybody in Texas has Down syndrome. And that's what I was told. And I was just walking around this fair crying my eyes out.
They all, men, young boys and young girls, all had dance lessons, the waltz, the two-step, the whatever. And I don't know how to do any of that. And so you go to the...
We had, when I was in school, we had etiquette and dance, like basic dance lessons.
Fair, or to any dance where they have music. And this is what I saw. I saw couples in their 70s and 80s who had been together, 50, 60 years, and they loved dancing together. And when they got out there, they were just in this bliss, and they were looking at each other like they were so in love. And they would sway in perfect unity.
Amazing. You're telling me that people can dance in Texas? The one that they taught us was to rock back on your heels, drop down to your knees, crawl across the floor, and then jump back up on your feet. You wiggle and then jiggle, and it'll beat all you ever saw. And that's how you do the watermelon crawl.
And then they would go forward.
I think that's it.
And it was just the most beautiful thing. But then the entire dance floor was doing the same thing. So it was not only the unity of the couple, but the unity of the entire group going counterclockwise, exactly in unity. And I was overcome with tears. And I was satisfied to just sit there and watch.
I was overcome with vaginal tears. Okay? And I was just overcome. I would say that I overcame vaginal tears. There was not a dry set of legs in the whole place.
It was like I couldn't get enough. And suddenly, here comes an 80-some-year-old man with knees that are so full of arthritis that you could tell he was in pain. But he loved to dance so much, he didn't care. He was going to do it anyway. And he walked over and he said, "Ma'am." And I went, "I don't know how to dance." He goes, "I'll help you." And
then Lil Jon and the East Side Boys came on, and you ought to see this old man get low.
Took my hand and he took me out to the dance floor and he said, "Okay, now step this way and step this way." And I'm crying and then I'm laughing while he's waltzing with me. That's what we have to get back to. We have to shed this stupid cabal in
That's why there's no one in chat. I don't know why no one's on Rumble tonight. Usually there's at least a few people over there on Rumble. Not tonight, just you, Sky Moon. I don't know what you're doing over there. Did you ran everybody off?
Indoctrination that has poisoned us. I tried to give these...
I can't believe she's this emotional over people dancing, or like a square dance, or like a line dance. Like, where the fuck have you been? Surely you could see it on TV.
Not all of them are bots. They're not all bots. Some of them are just wounded. And they're disappointed and they had hope. Somebody said this lady has a source and maybe she can tell us what's coming. And then I gave hope about, Halloween. It is the last Halloween, by the way. It is. But,
sure.
But they just couldn't take one more disappointment. And I get it. I do. And I'm so sorry for your pain. And so I would be patient with these people when I could tell they were not a bot. They weren't name calling. They weren't. They were just displaying really intense anger. And so I would just try to reason with them and ask them questions, the right questions to get them to think, you know. But then by the third time,
I don't have any mushrooms to send to her. I'm getting close, though. Getting pretty close. I'm not there yet, but I am getting closer. I've got some pretty hardcore mycelial growth. So I'm getting close, but I don't have none to send to her yet. At least be a week, maybe 2.
Just violently angry, then they're gone. You know, I'm not going to have that, because then that affects everyone who sees it, gets affected. But I appreciated one lady who said, "Oh, Teresa, we love you. We're so grateful for you. We thank God he sent you. Don't think that we're being influenced by these angry people, because we're not." That was really special. So if you're listening, thank you for that. That really meant a lot to me. It did. So anyway, I just wanted to, once again, bring hope and stability and the truth that we are going home. We're finally going home. Everything that has been robbed from you will be restored. What you're going to receive from the government is not a handout. It's not welfare. Some people say, "I don't want anything from the government." You don't want what's owed to you, what was stolen from you. That's what they got back for you. It belongs to you.
It's yours.
Every time they arrested a cabal.
While you guys are making fun of people getting money from the government to survive or to, like, you know, feed fucking kids at school lunches or a single mother to buy groceries. But this is your money. Please take these handouts.
Monster. They seized all their assets, and that got put into the Nesara bank to be distributed to you. You deserve it. You've been a slave too long. And so when this...
I just find it fascinating. They're the same people that'll sit here and decide that anybody who has government assistance is milking the system or some type of welfare queen, while also being like, "I can't wait till the government gives me all this Nesara money."
Happens. And let me say,
pay
Bill
off my
did say
house.
that he doesn't know what the seniors are going to get. I do. I can tell you, all seniors will get $5,000, and disabled seniors will get, they're toying with something above $7,000.
Depending on where you live, that's not great. $5,000. Depending on where you live, that's not great. I think these people, they live in some type of weird bubble where they think of like a high number for them or where they live or their cost of living. But there's places you can't live on $5,000 a month.
Up to $7,500.
In the U.S.
That's a fact. And that, they wanted that to happen this month. A lot of checks have already gone out. Some people got it. They actually got it as part of a test. But for sure, once we go forward publicly, you'll get it next month. All right? And then everyone who can prove they have a job.
That's why any type of answer to like raises for like veterans or Social Security disability or Social Security retirement, any of that has to be founded on some type of location. Because you can just tell those people to move, but if they never get a cash sum that's large enough for them to be able to afford to move, they're kind of fucked.
Gets $1,200, called the Universal Basic Income Package. That's not a handout. That is what is owed you.
Universal Basic Income. I've heard people calling for Universal Basic Income before, and I don't think it was the Q-tards. I can't remember who it was, but I bet you they were right-wing Trump supporters.
That's what they're calling it. So, as I said before, the migrants, not the migrants, the valid migrants, but the illegal aliens, if they want that $1,200, they have to go home because their country has it waiting for them at home, but they won't get it here. So you see, there's going to be a mass exodus of illegals to go home to get that. Right? Because in some countries, that would go a long ways. That would be worth going home for, right? It's all good.
Yeah, and that would make them fucking millionaires and some of them in their home countries that you're not going to be able to live on it at all in this country and a lot of places.
It's all good.
Most places.
So, once again, the CDs, if you have to have them, we'll try to get them to you. But once this call comes, we won't be able to
Maybe she's a Bernie bro.
process any more CDs, and I'll go on the website and just cancel out the CDs completely. All right. Once we get back, we'll go ahead and.
So this was supposed to be her apologizing for being wrong, and instead we heard about a line dancing grandpa who made her pussy cry.
Send out CDs to those who don't do MP3s or downloads, digital downloads. But until then, the digital downloads are there for you.
That's true. I think eventually, so one would think that the way technology works and grows and starts taking over, and I don't know how long this will be, but I personally think that eventually we will have technology doing most jobs, if not all jobs, and then there has to be something, unless we have some type of system where you're like issued some type of fucking robot that goes and works for you and you get your robot's wages, then there's going to have to come something at that point. But it should be the point to where labor is not a commodity. So it's not as, because nobody's working, right? Everything's taken over. So it should be a place to where that is easy to do, I guess.
Scientifically recorded at
maybe 100 years from now or 500 years from now or something. I don't know.
Blood pressure, and causes the brain to go to theta state, which is the perfect state to throw off negative emotions and heal the body.
Throw off them emotions,
Sometimes
baby.
it takes music to get you out of the chaos that you live in. And if you played, I've always read.
Isn't it weird that she says sometimes the only thing that can do it is music to get you out of this chaos that you live in? By the way, I sell music on my website.
Recommended people play Utopia during dinner because you're going to digest better. And it'll keep everybody.
What? Play my song Utopia during dinner because you'll digest better?
Calm. If you have fighting at your house, it'll keep everybody calm. And just so you know, negative words have the power of life and death. Those negative words, if you're yelling at each other in your house and you have a pet, that pet is going to absorb that and going to get sick. I've saved many pets by telling the owners how to undo the damage.
Oh, the urn behind her? That's the guy who danced with her at the county fair.
For their pet. All right. So anyway, I had talked about the anxiety teaching before, but I had never talked about the healing for family rejection.
She's going to make that available now. Not free. You still have to pay for it, but she's going to make it available because so many people need it. And all she wants to do is help these people by charging for it on her website.
And of course, I wrote that based on my own experience. I've been rejected by my entire family of 8 people. So I know what it's like. I know what it feels like.
Do you ever think it kind of blows? So lots of times, you'll even hear me say it on the stream all the time. I am 100% open to being wrong about some things. There are some things that I'm really well versed in that I'm like, no, you're wrong. Other times I'll be like, am I the crazy one? Am I the one that's saying this wrong? Am I the one that doesn't know the meaning of this? Am I the one that, am I wrong, chat? Am I describing this wrong? Is that a good description of this? Am I using the wrong word here? But these people never, a family of 8, all think you're fucking crazy. Must be them. Gotta be them, guys.
And I know how to deal with it. I know how to heal from it. Okay? That's what I'm here for, is to be a comforter. That's my job. All right? And eventually, once we get through this, probably starting maybe...
Mini chainsaws cure cancer too. I heard that. My doctor actually uses a mini chainsaw for cancer now, mole removal and circumcisions. It is the Tack Right mini chainsaw. I don't know how many hikes he takes, but the circumcisions are just beautiful.
Back on the road, and I'm going to do healing concerts to bring hope, comfort, and stability to the world. That's my
I want to be at your concert next Halloween. Could you book a date?
My plan. All right. So I'm going to put all the links up on.
Same. If I have a thought to myself and it's something like I'm going to do a show on or I'm going to talk to somebody on, or even if it's just like a big decision for my life, I get like paralysis where all I want to do is research and make sure that I'm right. But these people just inherently know they're right because Trump or God, maybe that's the same person, I'm not sure, told them so. It's just weird. I don't know.
Rumble and Facebook. You already.
If 8 people from my family was just like, fuck him, he's crazy. Like the people that were closest to me. Like I've had falling outs with members of my family or whatever before. But the ones that are closest to me are usually like, well, I'm staying out of it or you're right. But if 8 people are like, we can't deal with you anymore, you fucking psycho. I would probably be like, man, am I wrong here?
Already have them on my page. I already put that up yesterday for the suicide prevention website, but it's also for encouragement and comfort.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have
encouragement
to be,
and
you don't
comfort.
have to be suicidal to use that website. Call us for help.live. All right. Okay. I'll let you go. I hope this video was.
It's .live. Those groups of websites with the with the suffix of .live were literally made for live streaming and live shows, and that's why they come out. Like I have coldbeer.live. There's like other streamers that have .live. There's websites that are .live because they host streamers. It's not .live, lady. Come on.
High enough quality and didn't freeze up on you all the time. Alrighty, I love you and I bless you, and I thank you for understanding where I'm at and that my intentions are only good.
Domain extensions. That's the name I was. It's a domain extension. .com, .org, .edu, .gov, .live, .whatever. Domain extension.
Deceive anybody, right? I just want to bring hope. All right, I love you and I bless you, and we'll see you sometime soon. All right,
I doubt it.
Good night.
So she told us she was wrong by going to the county fair with an elderly gentleman. That was great. We do have something kind of interesting here. So you guys know
incoming dono clip.
Sir Synonym, right? That would be Eli the Pathetic Patriot. Well, his former co-host, I guess, started a new show. And I watched a portion of it. I'll play that dono clip in just a second. I watched a portion of it. It was all right. It was him and a couple buddies. He used to co-host with Eli, I guess. But if anybody in that relationship has kind of fucked around.
Wilbur, this is Ramesh. Her flute playing reminds me of when cats are getting waterboarded. It's a terrible, terrible sound.
How do you know what cats waterboarding sound like? That was Ramesh with cats being waterboarded. Thank you for the donation and support. So when I first met Josh and Eli, Sage wanted to have Josh on the show, okay, but not Eli. And Eli got mad about it. And before we even invited him, Eli had quit the show. He had told people it was going nowhere. He didn't want to be part of it. Hold on just a second. He didn't want to be part of it. He was leaving the show, and he was going to either quit YouTube or do his own thing or whatever it might be, okay? And as soon as Josh came on with me and Sage, and we did like an interview of him or whatever, they went over 1,000 subscribers. Then Eli calls back and apologizes. Like, I want to be back on the show, bro. I want to be back on the show. And they did it for a little bit. Well, then the next thing that happens that I notice around the Pathetic Patriot is Ryan Upchurch shares one of his videos that supports him. So he gets all these views on one of these videos and a bunch of subscribers on his Pathetic Patriot channel. And he immediately talks about leaving the show that he co-hosts again immediately. And then everything he tags with hashtag Upchurch, hashtag Creek Squad, hashtag this, he's just basically, that's probably what turned me off the most against Eli is how much he fucking pandered just because he got a few views. Then he's making TikToks saying, oh my God, dreams do come true. My YouTube channel's blowing up, blowing up, blowing up. And I told him at the time, you don't want someone else's audience. I've told a bunch of people this. People are like, well, you could send, a couple hundred people to watch me. You don't want someone else's audience. Because as soon as you have a different opinion than that person, or as soon as that person no longer endorses you, or as soon as that person, or as soon as people are no longer interested in you, you lose all your audience. So I would rather have my audience that watches me than thousands and thousands of people that someone sent to watch me until we have two different opinions and they disappear, right? It just doesn't make sense. But he hopped on that bandwagon. He endorsed it as hard as he could. And now he's living in this realm where like, oh, yeah, I kind of played into it, but what was I supposed to do? I was just thankful. That's all I was doing, was just trying to show gratitude. And the people came and then they didn't come. And I was just, no, you weren't. You were literally trying to milk it all for views the best you could. So now his former co-hosts, which you'll actually see in the chat sometimes, is they used to run a show Stuck in the Middle. There's like a new show. And I don't know if they're still doing the old show or not, but it's Josh. He started a new show, a new series with his friends. It's called Nothing Funny. You can check it out on YouTube or Rumble. Is it called Nothing Funny? Did I say that right? But anyways, it was a decent show. It seemed like some friends having fun and talking about topics. I enjoyed it. The part of it that I watched, I didn't get to watch it all, but I enjoyed the portion of it that I saw. I would like to have a co-host at time. I'm just not good with a co-host. But I would like to have a co-host to bounce stuff off of and do this. I've tried it before, but it just wasn't. It wasn't something I'm good at. Yeah, it's called Nothing Funny, and the name of the channel is Stuck at Night. Stuck at Night is the name of the channel, and it's Nothing Funny episode 1. And I'm assuming, from what I've heard from the people who sent me this link, that Eli got very upset about it. Very upset that his former co-host, who he tried to leave holding the shitty end of a stick multiple times, has now got a new co-host. We'll see.
Catch my breath a little bit. Bear with me here.
Get ready for the synonyms.
Ooh, what a day, what a day. Okay. This is not a double, but boy, this was a late night. All right. What is the spur of the moment, you ask? Well, throughout the hours of the day that bring me to this moment.
Just think about that. Just think about that. Imagine if I said, oh, you guys want to hear what's going on with Phil? Well, throughout the hours and the minutes of the day that bring me to these fleeting moments that slip through our fingers like sand in an hourglass. No one fucking talks. Well, who the fuck are you? No wonder you don't get any fucking views. God damn. What are you trying to prove? That you know different words?
_GLG20 just gifted 5 subs.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for the gifted subs. I mean, like, he made a show where he didn't say my name, but he's like, there's this other guy who doesn't like me because he thinks the words I use are too big. No, you misunderstood completely. I think you say the same thing 53 fucking times in one sentence. And then you're like, I don't know why my mom doesn't understand or contemplate or hear the words that are coming out of my mouth and make decisions that come together with us as a family in Sukasa, the home that we live, surrounded by our loved one. No wonder she doesn't fucking get what the fuck you're saying, dude. God damn.
All right. What is the spur of the moment, you ask? Well, throughout the hours of the day that bring me to this moment, I have thoughts, and I like to get those thoughts out, some shape or form. Maybe I'll get into writing again, yada, yada, blah, blah. I'd like to talk about last night briefly, but...
And look, I have like internet ADHD, where I will be watching something and I'll be like, did I tell you about this? Did I tell you about that? And the reason I do it is because if I don't, I'll forget about it, right? One of the problems with my PTSD is I have all these weird fucking fleeting thoughts. But there's no way that I would ever punish anybody by creating a sentence about throughout the moments of the day that we find ourselves in as time goes on, the fleeting thoughts that pass over our frontal cortex as we think about. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
First and foremost, I'm very happy and proud that my brother and my sister-in-law have made it here. Sup, Mr. President, White Dragon, mutated, base girl, sweetheart, all of you.
You're very happy and proud. What? You're very happy and proud that your family's in the chat? Is that what you're saying?
Into writing again, yada, yada, blah, blah. I'd like to talk about last night briefly, but first and foremost, I'm very happy and proud that my brother and my sister-in-law have made it here. Sup, Mr. President, White.
He's very happy and proud. I don't know if his brother and sister-in-law traveled there to like visit like family or if they're in the chat. And he's very happy and proud about that for whatever reason. Oh, they visited from New York. So you're proud that your brother made it. I can understand the happy. Got it. You're proud? Did you expect that his driving / transportation / negotiating traffic skills were not up to par?
Dragon, mutated, base girl, sweetheart, all of you, welcome So this is a rant while driving. Oh, shit. I got a huge vehicle to my right, completely blocking my view. So now I got to wait for his ass. So this is what I'm deciding. And I think the thoughts I have as a result of last night, which was, let me kind of paint the picture.
So the chat did have some jokes at Eli's expense. Someone said before the show started, we couldn't see who was going to be on the show. Someone's like, should we bring out thesaurus or not? And I said, always prepared like a Boy Scout. The chat did say some pretty funny shit. It got funnier after I left. I will admit that. But he is very upset about that. But I don't know that did the show put him down? Did anybody else watch the rest of the show? I was over there for a little bit, but it didn't seem like the show was putting him down that much. But maybe they did. They just gave him hell.
Sure. I went live last night, as y'all know, and I appreciate each and every single one of you for whatever reason it is that you come along to this side of the YouTube streets, okay? Secondly, I saw the Stuck in the Middle page, the big channel, the main channel, all right? The thing that got me to where I am.
I was at least hoping that got him to where he is. The big channel, the main channel that got him to where he is. Where is he? At 48 views. But I was at least hoping that he wouldn't mention the name. That he was like, the channel that I used to be on. Nope, he's just out there. He's laying it all out there, baby.
In terms of even finding a voice and learning that I could use it and enjoy it. That's why I haven't been monetizing a damn thing. I'm doing this strictly because I fucking enjoy it.
When you average way less than 100 views per video, it's not a flex to say I don't monetize. So, like, thank you for sharing your voice and not earning 36 cents this month. It's not a flex. I don't know why. I don't know why people do that. I've got 18 live viewers, and you guys know me. I don't monetize it. I don't do this for the money. Well, good, because you wouldn't fucking make any. So it's not like you're giving anything up.
And dear God, it's so liberating to just fucking curse and not give a flying shit about the fucking censors or the fucking advertisers. That feels fucking great. I really need a curse. My brother told me, hey, easy, yeah. Man, I guess old age gets us all maybe a little bit soft, but okay. So last night, Stuck in the Middle's live. I think Josh and one of
I didn't think about that,
friends, and another guy who...
I didn't think about that. Yeah, a bunch of people probably left when I started my show because I know I saw some of you guys over there, and I thought it was interesting, a show. Like I said, I would like a co-host at a bunch of times to like bounce something, but it'd have to be someone that I knew like very, very, like a childhood friend or something. I don't have any. I was gonna say a childhood friend that I still like talk to or whatever, just because I'm not good at the very cohesive with the co-host. It's never worked in the past. Clearly it just isn't meant to be. But I thought it was an interesting show concept when I was watching it.
Who I recognize from some time ago. They were doing a brand new show. All right, and Josh has been pursuing his movie career. That the movie short POV is doing fantastic. I'm so proud of him. But he and I will forever be connected because of podcasting. And last night, I saw them live right after I ended my stream. And I gotta admit, I was shocked. Because, normally, shit. I mean, I blame myself because I've been completely self-involved, self-absorbed. It's a problem I have. I think all of us can universally kind of relate to one another. We let all the problems that we feel are burying us do just that. And we don't always reach out across the aisle or to our friends or the people that we, respect and have any kind of relationship, friendship with. So they're live, and I waited a little bit. I watched, and I noticed there's some, and it's okay. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit, but I'm making a whole show about it, right? I don't give a shit, but let me tell you what these motherfuckers did. That's the way it always starts. I don't care what they had to say, but let me tell you what these sons of bitches... It feels so fucking good to fucking cuss. Fuckers. And I don't care. And I'm over it.
There are people that will never like me, and that's great. That's grand. If you ever want to have a conversation, I'm open to it. Just know that. Aside from that, though, I saw at the beginning of my arrival that there were some people, just talking a little bit, just weak smack. Nothing terrible. They weren't cutting.
Weak smack. By the time he got there, I would say most of my viewers were here, so it wasn't us.
Into my soul or anything, but they were like, oh.
The problem with Eli was my chat often gives people kind of a hard time, right? Or at least likes to make jokes and likes to laugh and likes to have a good time. That just happens. The problem with Eli was he showed that he was a weak motherfucker. Like, all you got to do is kind of joke along, show people it doesn't, on the internet in general, show people it doesn't bother you. Jump in there, when people are making jokes or even making jokes about you, just jump on the bandwagon, be like, yeah, I am silly or whatever. But he showed that he wanted to fucking cry. He wanted to send emails. He wanted to make these shows saying, I don't know why the proclivity of the people that are in the chat and the message boards and on the online webospheres have a distaste for me, maybe dislike me, a hatred boiling deep down inside. It was just fucking, it destroyed him.
Oh, thank God Eli's not here, and there's clearly some humor. And hey, I fall headfirst into this. I use a lot of unnecessary $5 words in a $2 stream. You know what I mean? I'll say.
I don't think they're worth any fucking money. They're synonyms. If I'm trying to get you some information about your car, and I say car, automobile, motor carriage, Kia, Sorrento, four-wheeled vehicle, front-wheel drive, automobile, does that give you any more information? Of course not. They're not $5 words. They're not big words. They're not interesting words. They don't make the conversation any more interested. We said on bated breath to see if you'll ever even finish the fucking description, much less whatever you've got to say.
I don't know. It's just the way my fucking brain works, man. It helps me be able to curse. So what is this parking situation? Remember, I got family over, so it's going to be chaotic. But I have learned, absolutely, if I'm going to continue to do what I'm going to do, I have reached a certain level of what I'm going to call YouTube enlightenment. Oh, what is this situation here? And YouTube enlightenment, boys and girls,
we go nowhere.
When you finally reach the fucking destination in your mind that says, oh, I don't really give a flying fuck. Like seeing things.
But I'm going to make a 15-minute stream after working almost a double 8-hour shift. And I'm going to make a 45-minute stream to tell you how much I don't care about it.
About, the critiques of people that I'm never really going to care about. All right? Like, oh my God, yes, yes, you need a thesaurus to...
A thesaurus. Is that a new type of dinosaur? Oh my God, yes, you need a thesaurus. I don't think you understand what a thesaurus is. A thesaurus would not help us understand you at all. We got it the first time you described whatever you were describing. The thesaurus is for you to come up with synonyms. That's what a thesaurus does. But, Twitch chat got disconnected. Oh no. My Leorin board's messing up. Hold on. Let me reconnect it. But to do this video and say that you don't care, clearly you care. Or to do this video and say, like, I don't care what people think about me, but you begged Josh to be back on the show after he got 1,000 subs. Then you left him when you thought you were getting views. Then you went back when you weren't getting views. Hell, I've got email after email after email you sent me about, why don't your people like me? I don't know. I don't like you.
Like seeing things about, the critiques of people that I'm never really going to care about. All right? Like, oh my God, yes, yes, you need a thesaurus to listen to me. LOL.
Do you think the word is thesaurus? Like Tyrannosaurus? I figured you'd at least correct yourself. You think the word is thesaurus?
Oh God, you know, like Josh's joke about Louis C.K. If somebody yells at Louis C.K. while he's walking down the streets and says, "Hey, cracker," it's, you know, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Louis C.K. is just gonna be like, "Well, ruined my day." It's kind of the same thing when you get online, when you go on here and you see any kind of negativity. You really gotta learn and teach yourself that it just, in the grand damn scheme, it ain't nothing. It rolls right off your shoulders, and the more that you understand that, the easier it can be that you can really enjoy.
Please, somebody make a meme of a hybrid of a giant fucking open book / dinosaur that we can name Theosaurus.
That it just, in the grand damn scheme, it ain't nothing.
And then we'll just spam his fucking chat with it.
It rolls right off your shoulders, and the more
I can tell how much he doesn't care.
The easier it can be that you can really enjoy the full breadth of being, you know, somebody with a fucking platform. And by God, I fucking love having a platform. Each and every single one of you make me feel, and you know I don't use this word lightly, blessed. Because I see sometimes, every now and again, people are here with me. Right now, there are people with me. Some of you are passionate about the same topics. Some of you I've been so lucky to be connected with outside of YouTube. So no matter what, all of the horse shit, all of the depression and angst and anxiety, misery, whatever, the paranoia I got for a while, all of that shit, all that toxic confusion and whatnot.
It hurts me to listen. I think that's my biggest issue. It hurt. Like, I just want you to use one fucking description of something and move the fuck on. If there's ever anybody that pops in and says, "Can you describe this in 137 ways?" By all means. But no one's waiting on that.
I wouldn't fucking trade it for the world. I really wouldn't.
This is just a video to show that he doesn't care, that people don't like him, and show you how blessed he is.
It helps me grow up. And you know what? Sadly, I think in its own way, it helps people grow up. Maybe the younger generation, or, you know, fuck me when it comes to understanding the younger generation, but they have the online persona, right?
And the only other real times I've covered him is when he spread some blatantly false information, like illegal immigrants are becoming police officers. Look, that somebody's going to accuse me of me being a Q-tard, but I got this straight from Marjorie Taylor Greene. If there isn't a reputable source, I don't know what one is.
And if going through, I suppose, the gauntlet of people being negative, not liking you, hearing people critique you, and yeah, sometimes people just not gonna get along. If you can just accept that about the world and spill that over into this bitch.
This is what acceptance looks like, chat.
Whatever your .com is, your YouTube shit is. By the way, I hope this helps out the advertisers. Fuck YouTube and your censorship bullshit. I'm going to continue bringing stuff that is fucking...
Your channel's not monetized. I doubt you saying the word fuck in front of 48 people is going to hurt YouTube. I hope this hurts YouTube. Balls! Okay.
Absolutely whatever, counterculture, you name it. I just got to hear some of Trump's speech over in my neck of the fucking woods here in Florida, and there was a dude that was going to give me his fucking ticket. Oh, if only I could have been there.
It wasn't the same dude that was going to get you on with Value Entertainment, the people who placed the copyright strike on your last video, was it?
So, and you know what? On that note, that's another fucking reason why I respect Trump. I think even though with all the pressure around him having to be the most perfect, eloquent speaker ever, he doesn't fucking give a shit. I know.
So he claims that he does this weird, very bad, "Hey, yo, I'm from New York." He claims that he went, until he was in 6th grade, he went to school in New York, I guess. Then his parents moved to Florida. And that's where he gets his mixture of New York accent or something. I don't know. Something like
that. Some people will say, that's not what we want in a leader.
Exactly. He reads a headline. And then he fires up a live stream and says, "Oh my God, illegal aliens are cops." Here's the sources. Nobody better call me a Q-tard. And then it's like people's Twitter accounts. And he literally skipped over the part that said, well, it's illegal aliens who have to pass this like check. Then they have to be able to, so they have to be green card. They have to be able to work here. They have to be able to own a firearm. They have to pass this set of checks. And then they may be allowed to enter the police academy. And the entire reason for it is because we can't recruit police officers in some of these areas that they're doing these programs in. And he's like, illegal, give them all a badge. That's why they're bringing them over here. What the fuck?
We need someone that gives a shit. Well, you know what? He didn't give a shit where it counted most. When it came to worrying about what his haters are going to say, do, the press, the media. He had some fucking kind of understanding. And yeah, is it odd that I'm making some sort of connection between myself and a possible future president once more? Fuck it. Who cares?
Once more.
I do have hope that Trump will be able to run. He's fucking killing it in the polls. I've got my eyes on Vivek and RFK, but I do not hear about them or from them enough. So thus far, I'm still following the trail when it comes to Trump. And I'm not going to make this into a...
I haven't heard a single Trump worshiper say that if he did something illegal, he ought to face the same punishment we all do. Because I can say that about Joe Biden. I can say that about Trump. I can say that about any candidate. If they did something illegal, then they ought to face the same punishment that anybody else would. Instead, they're like, man, I hope nothing happens to him. I think this is all bullshit. I can tell from here that's bullshit. He's doing so good in the polls. I hope they let him run. This is bullshit. How in the fuck would you know whether it's bullshit or not?
A Trump thing. I did want to get here with this diatribe, this tirade. It's liberating to just speak and not give a flying shit, man. Like, literally anything that people can throw at me. I've revealed all of my dirty laundry on the history of my YouTubing. Okay, you can find the interviews that people weaponized and clipped up. You guys remember that ridiculous time when I fucking I showed everybody on my channel back during the Creek Squad days that I said, and I'm still so sorry. Let's all pretend.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! He tried to tell this story, I guess, to get like some street cred one time about. He said he used to do drugs. And him and his buddy were just driving around and they were thinking about doing drugs or they were high on drugs. And he's like, let's kill somebody. And so Eli gets in the back seat. His friend is driving and they just randomly pull over to the side of the road and pick somebody up. And he's got like the knife in his hand and he's ready to slit this guy's throat that for some reason got in the front seat with Eli in the back seat. And he's ready to slit this guy's throat, but he just didn't do it. He got the knife out. He's ready to go, and he just didn't do it. It was just the weirdest fucking lie that I've ever fucking heard. Like, no, that didn't happen. Okay, but he also told on himself for using the N-word, I think, a couple times.
And we're perfect now, right? I said N-I-G-G-A about Ben Carson when I was a fucking Democrat, ironically enough. And somebody made a compilation. There was a channel that was just uploads of me.
I don't think he's ever been a Democrat or a Republican. I think he's just always been retarded. I think he latches on to what his friend group or the people around him support. And then he will argue without knowing any fucking details or doing any research or having any knowledge on a subject. If he's currently latched onto that political party, he will argue it to the death. To the death. You can't prove him wrong. You can't show him facts. You can't change his mind until something else becomes more interesting and more people are jumping on that bandwagon. He's like, now I'm this.
And just wow, the lengths that anybody else will go just to tear you down. It's still, as it did then, it still does even more so today. It speaks more on that person, and it's just I'm liberated. I feel better. I feel better about a lot of things. And so even though I mean,
I could sit here and say I fully support Trump. I know a lot of my audience doesn't agree with me that I'm not happy with Trump anymore. I've lost a bunch of viewership. A lot of my comments are people like, oh, you think you, that one retard, it's like, you think you know better than Trump? No. I just read the indictment and said, man, this is fucked up if it's true. They left another comment just to say, you know, he's like, Trump just said there's watermarks on the ballots. No, he didn't. He said for future elections, he was talking at future elections, talking about less mail-in voting, voter ID. They could potentially put a watermark on the ballot. Like, I don't understand how you guys don't understand this. I feel like it's just like, instead of towing the party line or the Q-tard line and just screaming out what someone else told you, just watch the video. It's pretty simple. He's talking about all the things that would help fix voting, according to him.
Journey was arduous and painful, and it may have.
It was amazing. And I think another thing that's amazing, talking about Q-tards in general, and this applies to Eli as well. I think it's amazing that whatever propaganda machine and whoever was in charge of that machine got all these people who used to watch the news for information to immediately distrust every news agency, every reporter, every fucking expert, like subject matter expert, every fucking scientist, every fucking doctor, if they don't agree with them. But then the very few times that they throw something out there that's like conspiracy minded or aligns with like the Q-tard conspiracy, even if they have to clip it out of context, they're like, see, this guy's a doctor. See, this guy works for Fox News. See, this guy does this. But it was quick. It was quick that they made them turn on every fucking news agency, every expert, every fucking doctor, everybody. They turned on everybody that just 4 years ago, we would be like, oh yeah, this guy who studies this for a living, or this guy who reports on this for a living, or this guy who works this job that has to do with this for a living said it, then I guess they know better than me. We all did that. We still do that. Like, you don't go to your doctor and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, you got pancreatic cancer. You might get a second opinion on like treatment and how far along it is, but you don't fucking argue with them. You don't say, oh, you're part of Big Pharma. Why are you doing this to me, you lying son of a bitch? You don't do that. But for some reason, when a doctor comes on TV and says, that guy has cancer, you're like, lies, false flag, nobody's dying, cancer doesn't exist. It was made up by the deep state to make money. Give him some CBD. He'll be fine. It's just so weird. So fucking weird.
It felt dangerous seeing my fucking information get thrown around, and I was always worried, oh my God, where are they going to...
I generally used to have more faith in people before I saw not even like what they're doing, but how easily they could be, how quickly and how easily they could be swayed. I don't give a damn if you believe the media or not. But if you used to believe the media and now you don't believe the media and it only took like 60 days to make you flip, like I have little to no faith in you whatsoever.
Feel better about a lot of things. And so even though the journey was arduous and painful, and it may have hurt and it felt dangerous seeing my fucking information.
Arduous, painful, may have hurt. That's different than painful. It also felt dangerous. That's different than arduous.
Get thrown around, and I was always worried, oh my God, where are they going to expose? But there's nothing. There's no further skeletons or demons in my closet.
That's right, Skyman.
Somebody went as far as the time I shared many times when I thought about harming somebody, and it didn't happen.
That's the worst story I've ever heard you say. First of all, you basically just admitted to planning a fucking murder, which is illegal in a bunch of fucking states. The action of murder obviously is illegal, but setting down and planning a murder with your friend, also illegal. Second of all, it didn't fucking happen. You're out of your fucking mind. You didn't fucking happen. You're lying.
and there was a campaign. Like, how ridiculous. So this is going to be the energy moving fucking forward. Let's see what happens on Thursday, by the by. Thursday, I have to get my ducks in a row, so to speak. Oh, that was a poor choice of words, and we know why. But, you know, if we're going to talk about anybody ever again in the future, because this channel has been used as a platform to tear others down without the proper...
By the way, I just saw him on Psycho Babble PBR's channel, Psycho Babble Raps. Didn't he talk shit about that guy for like ever? And then he just hops on his fucking panel and it's like, hey, just because I'm here doesn't mean I support the things that...
Information. And let me clarify something that I have yet to ever state publicly. Let me at least get this off my chest. I may not have liked the fucking guy in the first place, but just because you don't like somebody, which I learned day after day with Democrats when it comes to Trump, just because you don't fucking like somebody, that doesn't mean it's okay to go on a fucking false campaign without enough fucking evidence, right? So I saw a lot of evidence of this dude being a fucking douchebag piece of shit, and he didn't help himself. But you know what? What's that fucking guy's name? Stone.
Wait, so you're saying you're trying to tell your audience, you're trying to teach them a lesson that they shouldn't go on some type of campaign against someone with a lot of false or trumped up evidence. But then you're saying, I did, and I saw a lot of evidence. And then I found out it's all true. Are you the best person to teach this lesson?
Her dad, Patty Lynn. I'm not dragging Patty, Miss fucking Patty. Okay, I got a lot of sympathy for her and what she's going through. Okay, but there, and some of the people that you know, absolutely helped to motivate the direction. And when I did that whole like expose thing, and you know what? Now I feel fucking embarrassed for myself and for that person. So that's just, if anybody had any questions as to why I wanted to reach out to them and they were a part of that, there it is. Because there was never really a quote unquote smoking gun.
Yeah, I know who, I think it said Reen Case is. She's like the Canadian nurse who like come up with some type of herbal formula and she gave it away for free. She didn't even put her name attached to it or something. And I don't know, she was just like a modern day heroine, or I guess a former heroine, not modern day, but yeah, I know who she is.
All I know for sure is that he was a douchebag, but that's not enough to try and destroy somebody. And that's why you'll find me on PBR's chat, because a shit ton of fucking people have yes-men themselves into thinking it's okay to use and fucking throw around the word pedophile like it's going out of fucking style. It gets clicks and fucking, it gets people's attention. People want to see people tear each other down. Stop being the fucking audience, the observer, and stop feeling at some point you have to take the side you don't, and hold your peoples accountable. That's all. All right, so this is me getting...
We need to get this approved as a YouTube sticker that you can post in chat. We're going to have to get this approved immediately. Stats. Theosaurus. There's also this one. Having a great vocabulary didn't save them from extinction, eradication, extirpation. That's true. A Theosaurus.
I will fucking finally say, because I didn't see anything indicative of Stoner Dad, whoever the fuck his name is now, being an actual fucking pedo, okay? But it was strongly implicated, 8 months ago? I'm sorry I did that. I did that because of the pressure I felt, because I got into getting attention too fucking soon, too fucking fast. And even me going after Tony Dodge, another creep, another guy. I spoke with all of his mods, and they had...
See, so like they went after this Tony Dodge guy because Ryan Upchurch basically told him to. And so what happened was Tony Dodge opened his Instagram chat. And if I open my Instagram messages right now, I haven't been on my Instagram messages for my in a fucking year, probably. Like they come, some of them, the ones that don't seem like spam, come to my Facebook business messenger. But I don't have notifications on it for that. I usually just check it when right before I start a show or something. But they went after Tony Dodge because he opened his Instagram messages to show something, and like one of the messages was like from this clearly bot account that's like an Asian, and it was like, "You want to see young girls naked? Click this link." And they're like, "Oh my God, he's a pedo, he's a pedo, he's a pedo, he's a pedo." Freaked the fuck out. And then they got a bunch of people that apparently left Tony Dodge after the fallout with Ryan Upchurch. And basically the fallout from Ryan Upchurch was just Tony Dodge disagreed with him. And then that all started, including the pedo stuff. So they took some mods that left Tony Dodge. I don't like Tony Dodge. He doesn't seem like a guy I'd get along with. I don't want to talk to him. Don't want to hang out with him. Don't want to nothing. But it seems like they took a bunch of his ex-mods, which you could probably find some of my ex-mods that'd be like, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he was mean to me. Yeah, he cussed me. Yeah, he yelled. Yeah, he did this. Yeah, he did that. Or they might even make up shit like, I think he was into me. Like, that was, I don't know. Unless you got some fucking proof, an Instagram bot message is not proof. And someone just coming on as a former mod or a former member or a former viewer saying, oh, he hit on me and it was disgusting is also not proof.
Got a lot of cringy shit to share, but is that really enough to tear somebody's hard work away and their accomplishments? You know, my part in that, I can't wash that, but I could be a better.
There are plenty of people that hate me to a point. They'll make up all kinds of shit. Hell, even Phil said that I was being, he heard it from a top source. I was being investigated from the DEA. Obviously, I'm not. I don't even do drugs. They do me. So that was just silly. But yeah, it just wasn't proof. Could it be like you look at it at this evidence and say, I don't want to hang out with, I don't want to watch Tony Dodge anymore. I'm not going to subscribe to him. I'm not going to mod for him. I'm not going to hang out in his chat. Sure. Is it he's a pedophile? He's a fucking creep. He's a piece of shit. He did this to these women? No, absolutely not.
Better fucking example and keep.
And I don't even like fucking Tony Dodge. I think he gives me the fucking willies. Like I'm like, I don't want to talk to this guy. I don't want to watch this guy. I don't like his voice. I just don't like the way he comes off. So he might be a creep. Do you have evidence of him being a creep? Not really.
On growing, it's the least I can do if I'm going to maintain this fucking channel and choose to not make money off of it. I think I can
and choose to not make money off of it. The views have chosen for you that you will not make money off it. If I'm going to have this channel and choose to not make money off, again, you're flexing less than a shiny $50. Don't spend it all in one place. What the fuck is this flex? And choose to not make money. I could be making 42 cents a month, and I choose not to. I'm going to say what I want. Okay.
Better fucking example and keep on growing. It's the least
I hate to even bring this up, but do you think he's so obsessed with not making money off his channel because of his Khazarian roots? Do you think it's because he's part of the Khazarian mafia? That's why I chose to leave 4 nickels and 7 dimes right on the table so I can say what I want. Okay, bro. Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know you're going to flex pocket change on me.
Can do if I'm going to maintain this fucking channel and choose to not make money off of it. I think I can, at the very least, showcase the growth or whatever the fuck anybody wants to perceive it as, or keep painting me as the villain.
Let's just say he could be Mort's brother. I'm not even making any money here.
This is my journey, and I thank you for being on it with me.
Yes, he is dating someone named, I think this is how his attention got to the chat making fun of him. He is dating someone on YouTube named Queen Survivor, who is his queenie and his only survivor. An online relationship with someone he may or may not have met, but not the woman that he was talking to in Messenger and then forgot that she was a literal paid whore from high school. Not that one. Okay.
to no matter whatever the fuck anybody wants to perceive it as or keep painting me as the villain. This is my journey, and I thank you for being on it with me to no matter what fucking direction in life it takes me. Dear God, I certainly have to curse a lot, but I feel fucking good, especially when I can also get my voice out. All right, when I'm in the house, I can't always fucking shout. So right now, again, oh shit, I didn't even...
He means his parents' house. When he's in his parents' house, he can't always shout. Okay, lights out, 9 p.m.
I didn't realize my sister-in-law is right in her vehicle next door to me. What the fuck was she doing? What's up, Iris? Goddamn. I'm going to go see my brother, my sister-in-law. You know,
I'm so proud they drove here. I am so proud they drove here from a different state. Proud of them, chat, and you should be too.
This is a very special, well, it's late as fuck, but I don't know how much time I have with them, but this is going to be a very important couple of days. I'm off tomorrow. There's so much that has to be accomplished. It may be the shittiest part of life sometimes when we think, oh, it's so overwhelming, but hey, the alternative of having fucking nothing to do is where we turn on ourselves. And when we find ourselves being easily manipulated or going along with whatever the fuck, because the tide is always easier to go with it than against it. Stand against every fucking tide. Be your own.
That sounds silly. What if there's an amazing tide that helps a lot of people, or, you know, unsticks a fucking boat that's run aground, or a tide that, if we're talking about like in the political sphere, what if it helps more people? What if it benefits people? What if it keeps people alive? What if it has no ill, to just say stand against every tide? So basically resist every movement. Even the ones you believe in, are passionate about, have researched and well-versed in. Stand against them. Stand against them all. Be unmovable.
Goddamn voice, and let's see what the future holds for, and I'll say this fucking bitch's name. I'm very tempted. No, not until I see certain things.
Okay.
I think a lot of us know the woman I refer to that said a lot of bullshit about me, and people went with the tide. Remember,
no.
It's much more refreshing to go with the tide and get attaboys and pats on the back and donations and more subscribers.
I may stand against Tide, but I stand with Dawn. Have you seen those baby otters they clean the oil off of? That's amazing.
But oh God, speaking the truth, that's maybe not as exciting. Come on, let's try to bring that back, huh? Okay, so that's it. I got a whole lovely, beautiful, fantastic family that's in trouble right beyond this vehicle and that front fucking door. I'm going to go see.
Right beyond this vehicle and that front door. You could have just said, I've got a family that's in trouble that I need to take care of. Right beyond this door handle, the latch, and the jamb. The outside sheet metal and the blue paint. 6 steps up the driveway to a red oak door with brushed nickel accents that creaks on the 3rd hinge from the top.
Do it. You all have a fan-fucking-tastic night. You owe yourself nothing less than that. So good night for now. I'm excited to see what the fuck the future holds.
God damn, that was a lot. I'm glad it was only 15 minutes. That's the longest Eli video I think I've ever watched. I'm glad it was only 15 minutes. That was a 15-minute meltdown of... what do you say to that? It was very descriptive. I'll give you that much. But I felt like overly burdensome. Had so much description. Overly so. It was just a lot of words, right? 5 pins in the lock cylinder. Quick set key on my key ring along with the keys to my vehicle and the liquor cabinet where I work as a cashier, slaving away, double shifts that last almost 8 hours. It was very descriptive. It's very descriptive. What's even worse is his, hold on, let me see if I can find it. What's even worse is his TikTok. Eli's piss bottle was mentioned too. Oh no. Oh no. Boom. 17. His piss bottle was mentioned too. Oh no. Oh, sorry. Since Eli mentioned a new show, I'm anxious to see if he is on it. I'm guessing no. Oh no. He was set up to be mad about it before the show even started. Okay, let's see here. That's a YouTube video. He's got a TikTok here somewhere, right? I don't remember how I got to it last time. I thought it was from this group. Mods, when you got a link to it? Creek Squad / Crack Squad / I know somebody's got a link to it. Somebody sent it to me. I'm struggling to find it right now. Anyways, we can go look. Oh, it's just his name, right? I can just type in his full name. Isn't that what someone said? Let me try that. Oh, found him. Oh God, found him. All right, so this is his TikTok account, and of course, when he was milking all the views from fucking Ryan Upchurch, and literally he had no views, and then 97,000 views, which is 96.1 thousand more than usual, and all the views are on this Ryan Upchurch video right here. And then I feel like I owe Ryan Upchurch some thanks. All of them are Ryan Upchurch videos. This is what he does. So he plays music, obviously, and he says, check out my channel. I have been blessed. Look for Progressive Patriot on YouTube. Dreams are coming true. Dreams are coming true. Dreams are coming. Oh, he went up on the panel for that show? Dreams are coming true. Like, I don't get it.
If a bunch of videos of chicks showing their cleavage could get, I don't know, 1,000 views, maybe a dude with brand new glasses could garnish the same attention. I figure if a bunch of videos of chicks showing their cleavage could get, I don't know, 1,000 views, maybe a dude with brand new glasses could garnish the same attention. I figure if a bunch of videos of chicks showing their cleavage.
Wow.
Don't I know you from someplace?
I think I served you a subpoena once. It was a small subpoena.
Humor you can't get away with these days.
Humor you can't. Yes, one of the first things my chat noticed, and some people tried to defend him, but one of the first things my chat noticed, he is an adult that lives with his mom. If his parents have health problems, whatever, that's fine. He can live there as long as he wants. It doesn't bother me none. But his room as an adult was very, very messy. And it seemed as if there were bottles without labels on this rack behind him that he shows in this video, like this shelf. This shelf was all messy and covered with bags and food. It seemed like they were a bunch of piss bottles on the shelf. And I don't think he's ever lived that down.
All right, it just dawned on me. I hate this app, but I have it. How do I go about whoring myself out to get you people to check out my YouTube channel? It's not doing too bad. Progressive Patriot. All right, it just dawned on me. I hate
Not
this.
to mention the very first impression he made on my entire audience were we were on Sage's channel. Sage has more subscribers than I do. Hell, Eli has more subscribers now than I do now that my channel got deleted. But Sage had more subscribers than I did, and we were interviewing Josh, and we were sharing Josh's link for his show, and we were sharing it out like the mods would put it at maybe every 10 or 15 minutes, but no one was spamming it. And he hops in the chat and he's like, "Hey, I'm Eli. I'm from on the show too. Here's the link. 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 Here's the link." And people finally had to tell him to chill the fuck out. Like, what are you doing? No one's going to click on that when you seem like a bot spamming the fuck out of it, dude.
This app, but I have it. How do I go about whoring myself out to get you?
He acts like views and the people viewing him doesn't matter. So if you have more views than him, he doesn't care. If you have less views than him, he says he doesn't care. He doesn't care what his views are. But then as soon as he gets some, he starts quitting channels. He felt like he and Josh's channel didn't have enough subscribers, so he quit that until he got more subscribers. Then he tried to come back. He's sharing all these screenshots of these viewers that Ryan Upchurch sent to him as if he's finally made it. Dreams are coming true. And then literally begs for fucking viewers in other people's chat, spamming it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, clearly, there's some inconsistencies here, right? There's got to be some inconsistencies here. Let's see if I can find this. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I feel like it's not like I didn't address him for a long time because I just felt sorry for him. But then if I also happen to see him in his videos, I get so angry. I'm like, I got to say something. I got to say something. He wore a bright blue shirt for 3 days a few months ago. Yeah. He's very thirsty. High highs, low lows. His green polo shirt should be friends with Fat Man's gray shirt. Fat Man, we couldn't get Fat Man to change shirts, could we? You guys, if you haven't been here a while, you miss Fat Man Prepper.
Okay. Operate on. Okay. So I have to call. Would you like me to call them and tell them?
A Florida plastic surgeon arrested for possession of meth while he's on his way to work to operate on a patient.
What state? Did anybody hear what state this was in? He's on his way to operate on a patient in some state. Jessa, did you happen to hear what state this is in? I didn't catch it. Jessa, please. Did you hear? If you had your listening ears on, maybe crisscross applesauce. Did you hear what state it was in?
They're putting somebody to sleep right now for me to operate on. Okay. So I have to call. Would you like me to call them and tell them?
A Florida plastic surgeon arrested for possession of meth while he's on his way to work to operate on a patient.
They were already according to him, they were already putting the person under anesthesia on his way to do the operation. And he's pulled over with meth in his car.
The arrest happened on May 24th, 2022, when officers...
Yeah, Fat Man Prepper stuck his foot in his mouth when some other people were fucking starting shit with me. And then he said that I'm some type of new breed of veteran that demands people respect me because I'm a veteran, and he doesn't do it. He doesn't respect new veterans. Maybe if you were drafted, he would show you some respect, but that's it.
Officers pulled over Dr. William Wright Adams for a traffic stop in Pinellas County, Florida. According to the criminal complaint, the traffic stop was initiated to question Dr. Adams about a 2021
doctor like he doesn't make enough. Well, I don't think it's about making money off meth. I think it's about doing meth.
They're lighting them up.
Looks like he just pulled over on 31st Street.
Perfect. We can 15 him right away.
Wow.
When the
3
officer
cops pulled him over?
Vehicle, police immediately place him in cuffs. Dr. Adams then tells the officers he's on his way to the operating room for a patient who's
did he leave a drug house or something? Is that how they got behind him?
about to undergo surgery.
I'll explain everything, okay?
Because they immediately placed him in cuffs. He must have bought from an undercover or left a house they were watching or something.
What's going on? I'll explain everything, all right? seems to be operating right now.
Okay, that's fine. This is more important right now. Thankfully. All right.
The burgundy, yes, right there. Goes about 16 over.
Is this too tight to pull your hands? You need 1 second set. Operating where at? Operating where at? You said okay, where at? My office. Where's that at?
On 9th Avenue.
He still lives with Milo? I thought that was, yeah, they're blocking somebody out. That must be a fucking detective or somebody undercover or something. He still lives with Milo? Holy shit. I thought he was on his way to Alaska or some shit.
You got anything in your pockets or anything?
Like 2 years ago.
I'll check.
Authorities then place him in the backseat of the police squad car, then proceeds to search Dr. Adams' vehicle.
Cell phone's right there, his bag's right there, and
Yeah, I want to grab bag, phone.
That's right, Jessa. And then he said, so what if you serve your country? I serve my country every day, because he worked at the food stamp office. He's like, he tried to equate that any veteran who wasn't drafted deserves the same respect as someone who works at the food stamp office. Which, potato, I guess.
I saw him picking it up while we were following him too.
That didn't look like a very thorough search.
Shortly after, the officer pulls a backpack
they're going
from
to search
Adams'
it some
car.
more, I guess.
But when the officer goes to speak to Adams, the Florida doctor urges the officer that his patient is waiting for him.
We want somebody to come and pick up your car because we're parked on 31st Street.
Right.
Busy street.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay. Well, I'd love to talk to you. Before I can ask you anything, got to read you your rights, okay? But I want to figure out, because we're blocking a busy street right here.
We're putting somebody to sleep right now for me to operate on.
Okay.
So I have to call
Would you like me to call them and tell them? Or are they going to do that when you show up?
They're all waiting for me right now.
Okay, so are they doing the medicine prior to you showing up?
Sedation, probably somewhat. Usually
Yes or no? Because I'll make a call over there.
Yes, please call.
Okay.
Police then make a call to Dr. Adams' office to let his staff know not to put the patient under anesthesia and to have someone from the office pick up his vehicle.
Just tell them not to sedate the next person. Is there somebody that can pick up your car, or are we just going to tow it?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Who is it?
Just tell them somebody's come pick up the car.
But it's just like a lunch run that you do once every week, and you haven't been to sleep since you got the last bag.
There's more than enough people.
Are you saying from someone from the office?
Yeah, there's more than enough.
He's saying there's more than enough people at the office to come and pick up the car.
The officer then attempts to question Dr. Adams, but he refuses and asks for a lawyer.
I know you probably have no clue what's going on right now, but I think you have a perspective of what I'm going to bring up that I'd appreciate statements for. That's up to you. I want to ask you specific questions, but before I do that, I have to read you your rights. Okay? Do that with everyone that's in custody. Okay? All right? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be a...
They originally pulled the Dr. William Wright Adams over in May of 2022 during an investigation regarding a burglary. So when they searched his car, they were surprised to find drugs. So no, it was a burglary, and I guess his car fit the description. They were surprised to find drugs and hear about where he was headed. I'm supposed to be operating right now, Dr. Adams told the police. So he was a suspect in a burglary. That's crazy.
Represent you. You could decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I have explained to you?
He's probably got a sugar baby at home that does it, and he's got to go out and buy it for her.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk
Doesn't look like he's a meth user, not judging by that gut on him.
to me now?
I would consider my attorney, Kevin Hazlett.
Okay. You want your attorney present?
Yes.
Okay.
While police wait to hear back from Adams' lawyer, they continue searching inside the doctor's backpack, where the officer locates a glass pipe and later small bags containing crystal meth, after the officers bag up their evidence. Then authorities are eventually able to get in touch with the doctor's lawyer, who tells his client to hang tight.
We're going to invoke your rights against self-incrimination. This is not the time to tell your story. There will be a time. This is not that time. So I have invoked your rights against speaking to them. We'll have an opportunity to speak to the right people at the right time. Just today is not the time. So I'm going to ask you not to answer any more of the questions. They're not going to ask you any more questions. what happened because there'll be a time for that. Do you understand that, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's assume
Pretty good lawyer.
you can't talk.
Pretty good advice, I guess. His lawyer might be shit.
Let's go ahead and I'll connect with you. I will get you bonded out of jail this afternoon. It will take probably till 3 or 4 o'clock today. They've got to book you. They got to take you. This process takes some time. So after you get out, you and I.
This is at 10 a.m. And he's saying it'll probably be 3 or 4 p.m. tonight.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Evening.
Okay. And then at the appropriate time, we will talk to the people that need to hear your story, okay?
Yes, sir.
According to the arrest report, a co-defendant told authorities Adams hired him to rob an ex-boyfriend's home and retrieve property.
Oh, shit. So the burglary investigation was someone he hired to burglar. Okay. And to retrieve some items from a home, his former boyfriend's home?
According to the arrest report, a co-defendant told authorities Adams hired him to rob an ex-boyfriend's home and retrieve property Adams said was gifted to him. The report goes on to state security surveillance video captured what looked to be Adams's vehicle driving by the victim's home. And 2 neighbors spotted a man in teal scrubs and a person in a cowboy hat. Court records show Adams was...
Holy shit. Could you wear more conspicuous clothing? A full grown ass man in teal scrubs hanging out with a guy with fucking Derek Johnson. Like, Jesus Christ, try to blend in a little bit here.
Was later charged with possession of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia, as well as residential burglary. He is slated to go on trial for the charges in December. According to reports, this wasn't Dr. Adams' first run-in with the law. He was arrested in 2020 for possession of meth, but prosecutors later dropped those charges. The Florida Department of Health license verification website also shows Dr. Adams' license is clear and active with no record of complaints or discipline despite his arrest. But the doctor reportedly took to his social media that he plans to retire from his practice effective December 1st. Reporting
that makes sense. He's going to retire.
Law and Crime Network, I'm Elizabeth Milner.
I'm Anjanette Levy, and I'm here to tell you.
God damn, dude. That turned into a big-ass story, didn't it? Hey, Doc, when are the twins due? He hired a man in a cowboy hat to rob a ex-boyfriend's house who he saw his car on the security camera. And neighbors reported seeing a man in teal scrubs and a guy in a cowboy hat hanging and casing the neighborhood. Jesus Christ, dude. That's a lot of shit. Damn. And he hired him to steal stuff that he claims was his anyways, I guess. So there you go. There you go. Happens to the best of us.
Wilbur, this is Ramesh. Her flute playing reminds me of when cats are getting waterboarded. It's a terrible, terrible sound. I'm
not even making any money off this. Anyways, I like the way you say flutes. That brought back fond memories. Let's see here. You guys want to see some mycelium? Let me go get the agar plates. I'll be right back. Listen to some music while I'm gone, I guess. I'll be right back. Open. Some Linda Benda. I don't even know if she's done anything. We can see right quick. I'm not going to be live much longer, but I don't know if she's updated anything. Oh my gosh. $50. Jeez Louise.
Spicy_Otsuko for Mariah's Dental Care.
For Mariah's Dental Care.
Mariah's Dental Care. There you go. Oh, it does look like there might be some. Jupiter Returns Part 5. Okay, so it does look like there may be some. Let's see. I don't know what we've seen and what we haven't, so let's see what we got here. Thank you very much, Itsuko, for the donations. I'll try to send that towards Mariah's Dental Fund. We'll do a fundraiser show for it.
Hey, everyone. Sorry I've been gone for so long. But yeah.
I did get the plates. I'll show you to them in a second.
I do, and I did, and I still do regret my actions. So you guys need to back off.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Losers.
okay. I just haven't had any time to post. Oh, and Anonymous, I dare you to try and hurt me.
Oh, we've seen that one.
Not where I live.
You know not. Is he related to Eli?
So yeah, half the stuff that I did, what drove me to do
Have you got any plans for Veterans Day? I'll probably hide from everybody.
it was nicotine and alcohol.
Nicotine and alcohol made me do it.
Hey guys.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my God.
I want to know why your bed is brown.
Oh, that is just from my sweat and everything. That all the dirt that comes off my
Yeah, these are panned videos. We've actually seen these, I think. These are all
A few
panned.
weeks ago, I lived at a nursing home.
I could tell. I'm not very big down there, but I can still provide some satisfactory.
That's fine.
This one chick who I dated back in high school, know what she did after I her?
What?
Pressed charges on me. I can't live without my siblings.
Oh, no.
I can't shoot them.
Yeah, you just have an inspiring story.
Yeah. I came from someone who was nothing and came into something else, you know? If you want, after this, we can talk on Facebook and I can take a shower for you. I sometimes let the women I'm close to watch me shower.
Okay. I'll talk to you later, Jupiter. It's nice meeting you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.
He's a vampire werewolf hybrid that likes to investigate the paranormal, and also he likes to take showers and film it for his girlfriend.
Traumatized. Full video on
A few
YouTube.
weeks ago, I lived at a nursing home.
Yeah, so these are all old. They were panned videos. I thought they were new videos. These are the panned ones, though. Jesus Christ. This is the newest video. So she hasn't put much up. All right, let me change this. Linda Ben is the intro is going to play for a second, but I'll end it. Hold on.
Hey, Danny's, it's me.
There we go. Now it's ended. And I'll put this up. You guys want to see the plates? I think this will be close enough. Yeah, that ought to work. Can I get the shine off of it? Get it dark enough? Oh, there we go. See the plate? First, I'll see how much of it's covered. All that white's covered, right? And then you can see the texture of it when I turn it. What? Oh my God, that's a lot more covered than the other one. That's the one that I put way too much on. And it's probably getting close. It may even be over 50% because 50% would be like straight across. Oh, straight across right here. Well, actually, where am I going? Right here would be straight across. And we got more on this side of it, right? But we don't have that spot filled in. So probably over 50%, maybe like 60%, 70%. That's a pretty good plate. And it's getting some texture to it. You can see the individual spore colonies. And then it's also grown together and formed this line here that goes up and around. Look how good I'm getting within the camera. So this line here is like a communal line. And then all these little, small little circles. Damn it. Where's that? Right there. See that little circle right there? That's like an individual community. And when they join together, they build this big long line that doesn't have individual like single cells or single circles on it. And then this is the plate where I actually did the right amount. I only put a couple drops on it. So you can see how much of the plate's covered, right? It might be 40%, maybe 30, 40%. But it only had 2 drops of liquid culture. Then you can see the texture of it. See that ridge that is built all the way around it? So we take this ridge and go around here. And you go up and around. See the ridge all the way around it? It's built like a defensive perimeter. It looks like the wall of like a castle or some shit. It's pretty fucking wild to see that. And then of course you can see the individual circles. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? So what I plan on doing with these is I've got a liquid culture kit coming. And I plan on, so this one has the slightest, so it had a little bit of contamination in it, remember, and I cut it out. You can't see it on the camera. There's a spot right here in this spot that's not filled in. Let me see if I can get it to where it's not shining. So this spot I filled in, right? There's a little bit of contamination right there. It's like 2 little green dots, and I already cut out a spot right here. But like when I was picking up the thing, it dropped, and I think it spread again. But from what I've read online, peanut grows so quickly that it like devours and like eats the little bit of contamination. And it's not like it's spread through the whole plate because it hasn't got big enough to have like spores and stuff come open and like spread it. So this plate's still good. If it doesn't eat that little section right there, if it doesn't grow over it and destroy it, then everywhere else is still good, except for like this little area right here where it's not filled in. But I'm going to put some of this in rice bags. I've got some rye berry, which is supposed to be like the quickest, the fastest, like colonizing, like instead of popcorn. I'll put some on popcorn, some on rye berry, and then I'm going to make some more liquid culture of it. That way I have a lot to inoculate. Because right now I got 1 syringe, but I can take like 2 cc's of that 1 syringe and make like 10 more syringes of the same stuff. So I got it growing on agar. I was gonna cut this whole section out, like this whole bad section out here. That there's just one little bitty spot of contamination, but I was gonna cut the whole section out. Then I thought, you know what? I've got another plate and I've got a whole syringe and I'm fixing to make some more. So I want to see if it's true. So some people were saying like they had like a little dot of like some type of discoloration and the mold fucking grew over it, consumed it, ate it, whatever. So I want to see if that's true. If it will grow over it or whatever, I can always still cut it out. And get rid of it. I should have cut a bigger swath the first time. I cut it. It's like jelly. So I cut it out, and then when I went to flip it out, it fell back down, which I thought it fell like face up, but it could have fell face down and recontaminated. I should have cut a bigger piece out to where I could flip the whole thing out like over the side, and it would have fell out. But I didn't, so I'm still learning. But I'm hoping that if it's true, this peanut, as fast as it grows, and as many things as it uses as like food, or energy to build mycelium and mushrooms, if it eats over it, that'd be a good lesson to learn. So hopefully it destroys it. And then this one is completely pure, no contaminants, no nothing. It's actually really good. I just got them taped up. That's why the side looks white. This one's labeled number 2 because it's the one that just had 2 drops on it. And then this is number 1, the one you saw me fuck up in that TikTok video where the needles squirt all the way across and shit. So I think I'm just going to leave that little bit of contamination right there. Because every time I open it up, I risk contaminating it from just like spores in the air or off my hands or whatever. So I think I'm just going to leave that little section. And if it ruins it, whatever, I've got 10 more plates, plus a liquid culture kit coming. Plus I'll just throw it in the trash. And if it doesn't, I'll use it. We'll do a little experiment for it. The worst that could happen is it like contaminate a popcorn jar. Who cares? And then this one, I'm going to let it grow a little bit longer. And this is probably the one, since it's completely clean, this is probably the one that I'll chop it up like kind of like a checkerboard, like a bunch of lines across, then a bunch of lines this way. And then I'll take some of the best pieces out of that and put them in a bag of rye berry, I think is what it's called. Hold on, I'll show you what I got, what I'm going to be putting it in. I've heard that the rye berry or rye wheat or whatever the fuck they call it, I can never remember. I heard that it's one of the fastest grow, like it's faster than popcorn or anything. The popcorn jars, they have, the popcorn jars have been, I shook them up one last time because they were pretty much grown up. So I shook them up one last time that way to make sure there's no type of contamination, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to let them grow to where they look healthy again. I'm not going to let them fully connect again because I'm going to have to break them up to get them out of the jar. But as long as they look healthy again, it starts growing back over the next couple of days and looks healthy, then I'm going to use it for some dirt, and I'm going to put it in that the new thing that's coming probably. It'll be here on Monday. On Monday, I'll have that new system that does like the humidity and everything. Here's the raw berry or whatever that I got. It is 3 pounds sterilized vacuum seals organic raw berry grain bag with injection port 3 pounds. Now, I'm going to be injecting one of these bags with a needle, and the other one, I'm going to take a piece of this and put in it. Like I said, slice it up and throw it in there. So that'll be 2 different ways, and we can kind of see which one grows faster. It won't be exact because I don't have like, you know, the control of like a lab to make sure there's no contaminants or this or that or the other. But it'll still be just a little test that we can do, even though the results won't be super accurate. Either way, guys, thank you for the donations. Thank you for the support. Will they be ready by Christmas? They'll be ready before Christmas. But no, I don't think I'll use them for stocking stuffers. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate the support, the donations that came through. I'll be back tomorrow for $7 and up Patreon. $7 and up Patreon. If you want to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com/coldbeer. And if you want to support the show while we're offline, go to coldbeer.fund. We'll see you about on the next one. Have a good night. I'm going to go check on Mariah, make sure she's all right. Have a good one, guys.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up.
When her fever breaks, I'll tell her. You said hello. She's got a bad abscess and infection in her. I got to get her teeth fixed. It's gonna be expensive, but I gotta get it done. I gotta figure out how to do it. Even if I gotta finance it or something. I don't know. But anyway, she got another infection from her teeth. So she got an abscess and a fever, and tried to stay in the bed all day. I made her go to the doctor and get some antibiotics. She got a shot of antibiotics, a shot of some type of painkiller, and then they gave her a couple of prescriptions that we picked up at Walmart and took home.
Attention, I'm gonna make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.
Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped them to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped